Hello.
Greetings, everyone. Hello, welcome to session 3. Hello, welcome of Yuma Station, which is a Mongoose Traveler 2.0 actual play. Yuma Station on the Happy Mongoose Traveler 2.0 actual play. Yuma Station. So hold on. I'm being told by. So hold on. I'm being told by. So hold on. I'm being told by. So hold on.
Oh, I had to mute you guys because I have you like super double echoed. I had to change some audio sources around, so it should be coming up in just a second. Go ahead and start. Let me know if that's all fixed, chat.
More time for me to desperately rebuild this
and thank you for joining us for session 3 Trace of Yuma Station, a Mongoose Traveler 2.0 actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG network. I don't know why I'm so excited like this, but I am. So if you are starting to watch this and you're not watching it live and you're watching it recorded and you want to catch up, stop right now and go to past episodes. You can find those on happyjacks.org/Yuma Station. And to find all the other shows on the Happy Jacks network, please visit happyjacks.org/shows. There, I've done the housekeeping for the top of the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on our Space Western adventure. I am Bill Roper. I am the referee, as it is called by Traveler, which seems really weird because it's like there's going to be flags I'm throwing or something. In any case, I get to be the herder of cats. And what an amazing cast of cats we have. You'll see we've got a new face today. We're missing I don't want to say old face. Jay would be mad if I said that. But we've got some cast swapping in, which is fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and kick off the intros for everyone else with Dave.
Hello. This is a good moment for me to check my audio versus yours. So let me know out there in chat world. So I'm CADave, and I'm going to be playing Benjamin Lister, the leader of the online legion of Listerines that follow my conspiracy / real truth video cast that we seek out what's out there and the truth about it. That's kind of our jam. Yeah. And now proud part owner of a ship with a lot of people in the computer.
And Blue, take it away.
How dare you? I'm trying to rebuild this character sheet.
That's good. Well, so you can get your intro out of the way now and then do your bookkeeping.
Hello, I'm Clara, and I am playing Blue Lynn Wallace, our pilot who also is psychic and can probably kill you with her brain. Yeah, and definitely not casually not hanging out with the Navy. That's a thing. It's fine.
Sam?
Hello, I'm Sam, and I play Salamander Sal Brooks, who is our resident bladesmith, retired assassin, fun at parties, gunsmith, all around fun lady. She's definitely very friendly and will not menace you in any way.
And Jason, introduce yourself. We haven't met your character yet. That'll happen.
Hi, I'm Jason. I've been on a couple of Happy Jack shows in the past. It's fun to be back. I will be playing Alex Murillo. Played by, if you're interested in that sort of thing, if you've watched Money Heist, Alvaro Morte is the actor who would play him in the movie. But mine and his pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing a bit of an academic character, not quite as academic as Lister, but is affiliated with Lister via some collaborations and that type of thing. So got out of the Scouts, went into an academic route, and hijinks ensued. So that's here we go.
Excellent. And for people who watch past shows, you'll see that we are, Jay is not with us tonight. So we won't have Miles manning here, but that's fine. We'll have some, I'm sure, perfectly spot on reason why Miles is unavailable. But it all works out for the best because Jay's doing some cool stuff, awesome secret things that we can't talk about. Actually, we probably could, but it sounds way cooler if I say it like that. And everybody wonders. So last time on Yuma Station, now it's story time from Sal.
Oh, let's see what I wrote down. I forget. About a week on board the Ursula, they were a day out from Yuma Station. Blue chatted with Ursula about her history and constructions. Miles Benjamin asked the ship what systems she can control autonomously. She could control most of the systems, but not ship repair. She does say she has the crew's best interests at heart when Blue is concerned about a 2001 situation. Also, she likes Benjamin's show. Sal asks the ship what kind of battles she's seen, and she can't remember, but offers to search through her systems for hidden info. Sal searches the ship itself for secret compartments and locates 4 currently empty different stash rooms. I didn't write down what they were. I don't know. We have 10 staterooms. Blue wanders the ship using Clara assistance to sense back 10 years ago. She sees a person on the ship emanating strongly from engineering, older and chatting a lot with the computer. She picks up the name Xanthus. Miles has claimed the closest stateroom to the engine room, while Blue picks a random stateroom, but a lot of her stuff is in the bridge, weighted blanket and all. Sal bunks down in the turret, but has claimed the master stateroom as her walk-in gun closet / impress-a-date room. And Benjamin has an adjoining bedroom / broadcast room. Ursula overhears Blue telling Benjamin about the Xanthus person, and she offers to search her database. She does this a lot. Benjamin cautions Ursula to be on the DL while we're on the station. We wouldn't want someone to steal her. The crew discusses potential job options: mobile zoo, exotic animal transport, ? A bell wakes us up as we approach Yuma Station. Blue goes up to the bridge and gets cozy while Benjamin and Sal make coffee. Ursula directs them to a secret stash of arrival breakfast, which Benjamin prepares a nice spread in the lounge. The crew goes to town on some pastries and realizes, hey, we're still a ways out from the station. And Ursula says that she wasn't the one that woke us up. So what was the bell noise? Blue goes to engineering to investigate. This seems like where the sound would have come from, but it came from before, like 10 years ago. She says, hello, anyone here? To the air, not Ursula. No response. Ursula has found some encrypted files on a project called Xanthus. It will take a while to decrypt, though. Meanwhile, the crew goes back to engineering with Blue to investigate. Sal and Miles don't really say anything. It's very uneventful. Sal asks Ursula to scan the ship for other life forms. It's just us 4 and Monty the Toad. Benjamin had come in wearing his vac suit and was able to get out of that. After a rather involved spicy toad discussion, Ursula tells us that the station is about 15 minutes away. We were greeted at by the station, who directs us to dock at berth 5 since Ursula designated us as a diplomatic ship. Sweet. Apparently we're representing the planet Centris. We dock and they send a limo out for us, which we take into the station. It lets us off near the commercial plaza entrance. Blue can talk to Ursula remotely with her neural comms. Miles looks into repairs for the reactor leak. He wants to do the repairs himself and gets a quote for some basic parts. But the guy doesn't really understand what we need. So he makes an appointment for the guy to take a look at our ship. Sal and Blue hunt down the shipboard system section to look into astrogation updates. We can update the whole system for 50 to 80K. High-end stuff is going to be self-upgrading. Sal suggests that maybe we should qualify for the diplomatic discount, and the guy offers us 10% off. The reactor repairman estimates about 350,000 credits in parts alone. Woof. He's also a little bit baffled by our whole ship situation. Benjamin finds it's 200K to upgrade the comms. So we've got some high ticket items. Sal finds a listing for ship spotters, bounty hunters looking for specific vessels, 3 to 4 ships that might be in the Renzorius sector. Payment we'd get is about a percentage of the outstanding lease on it. 3 are far traders and 1 is a yacht. So we could track those down. Blue calls Portia, who has an opportunity for a cargo run to the next sector with machinery and medical supplies, and don't ask what else is in there. It's about 2 jumps. Miles has an old naval contact with a war games training op and needs civilian ships for live scenario training. That sounds like it won't be dangerous at all. We get a better cut if we bring our own ship, though. And a round at the Wing, the bar where Sal and Miles met. Benjamin checks his tip line / Patreon and finds rumors of a planet with artifacts. It's sketchy and vague, based on one found and unidentified. Maybe we could crowdfund an expedition. Back on the ship, Ursula has made us a shopping list. She's worried about communications protections and says maybe Xanthus can help. I'd be happy to help, he says. And then I had a little shocked face.
Well, yes, it's the first time, so I think Ursula said,
maybe Xanthus could help.
I'd be happy to help.
So, yes, there's at least a couple friends you have on the ship, which is so nice.
I'm so excited to make you talk to yourself.
Well, you know, I don't know how many accents I can do, but I can hit buttons on my keyboard to sound different, which is good. So, as you're on the station, one of the things that Benjamin came up with is this sounds like it could be pretty interesting to go after this potential treasure planet that's out there somewhere. But certainly, why would you spend your own money to go on such an adventure if you get somebody else to pay for it? So what has that led you to do, Benjamin?
Well, the very next broadcast that goes out is going to include a pre-roll ad that I have written and gotten ready to go out with the next Hollow broadcast. So I shall perform it live. Good evening, Listerines. Tonight, I have an extremely important opportunity to share with all of you. As you know, I've begun to broadcast from undisclosed locations over the past few years in order to limit the chance of big government or big corporate shutting down our message. Now's your chance to help us find definitive proof of intelligent alien life within reach. There's been an artifact. Yes, an artifact recovered from the very edge of human explored space. Now, as many of you know, they won't let us know where that planet might be because they don't want us to get to benefit from all the cool technology that they might have left behind. With your help, I intend to set out into the unknown, beyond the reach of the man, and find this proof to share with all of humanity. Please, follow the included link in the comments for your opportunity to pledge to our Space Kick Fund to support our ongoing effort. Not only do you get to be a part of history, making it possible to better understand our place in the galactic timeline, but you can get some amazing perks for being an early supporter. This is a limited time opportunity. Backers will receive an extra show produced monthly, a limited edition Never Let Reality Stand in the Way of Truth poster and pin set, and access to a discovery blog documenting what we find along the way. Act now! No pledge is too small or too large. Thanks, Listerines.
Excellent. So the shows that Benjamin has been doing from Yuma Station have been going out for a little while. He's been here for a while. Always careful to obfuscate his location. But they do tend to go out via some couriers that he set up. He's kind of built his own distribution network, which means that for someone who is observant and inquisitive and scientifically minded, they might be able to figure out where the point of origin is based on distribution timelines, which are all things that describe you, Alex.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was thinking I was probably trying to track down Lister anyway because of, I'm sure that he's been looking forward to continuing our previous collaboration. And he probably would rather I just show up rather than, hound him with emails or whatever. But yeah, when this thing goes out, I'm like, okay, it's time to close the deal. I'm going to actually like find him. He's got to be, whatever I have to do to track him down. That's what I'm going to do next.
Yeah, I think that you've been looking for him for a bit, and you've kind of traced him to, especially since he's been talking a lot recently about the miners' sweats that miners get, and like miners'
tardigrade.
lung. That's right, the aggressive tardigrades. And so you've been following the timelines of how long it takes for a broadcast to come out, because there's no like FTL jump communication in Traveler, right? Like all the messages have to go on to ships, boats that take them to the next sector over, and then they get distributed. So there's this time lag that occurs, but that's how you've been able to backtrace it. And it's led you to finding a place you think it is. And in fact, you've had a promotional pamphlet that you've found. And Dave, I'd love it if you would put up that file,
here we go.
Which for the players, you can go on our Slack and I'll put it up somewhere. Or if you're looking at Twitch over in another window, you'll see it there. But we had this very cool piece of artwork come in. If I can open I'll do this real time over here.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, Because not everybody right now can see it because we're not all seeing it the same. Here we go. I'll put it in our Yuma Station Slack for anybody who can't see the thing. But there is a promotional poster that's gone out, which is hopefully enticing people to come to Yuma Station.
Ooh, cool.
It is super cool.
And this was I put the call out on Twitter to find some people to do some cool artwork, because I wanted to have a couple of things we did. So this was done by Troy Z, who actually ended up hilariously being someone I've known for a long time, and just saw this and thought it'd be really cool to do. He's
Troy.
yeah. So if you look up Troy Z, his at NHure, so it's nature, but N8URE, Trail to Hell on Twitter. You can see that, and I'll post some cool stuff on Twitter too about that, with the image as well. But thank you, Troy, for coming up with such a cool piece. We talked about what I wanted to be. There was a space western. He got very inspired by the Star Tours posters, and so came up with that really cool minimalist. And I also think it looks very much like old spaghetti western posters. So that is what you find there. We can come back to us now, I think, if we're not already.
Yeah, doing it now.
Doing it now. So Alex, you'll come in at the you'll enter at the dramatically story-driven appropriate moment. But this is the way you've come there, and you're like, Yuma Station. That's the place to be. That's probably where Benjamin is. So everyone else is on the ship, and you've all gotten your opportunities. We've kind of just covered Benjamin, who's going to try to start raising some cash through, what is it, Kickspace? Is that what it?
What did I do?
Space kick.
Space
Space
Kick
kick,
Fund.
space kick fund, nice. To do that, and I'll step in for Miles briefly, not to take too much away from his character, but he will let you know that he's got a connection into potentially doing some war games work. The opportunity's a little bit out because the war games don't start for a little while, but that enough to where Jay can outline it for himself when he gets back. But that is an opportunity he has. Did anyone else have any opportunities they wanted to discuss in more detail?
I've got the medical supply movement that we can look at, we can consider. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I think it's going to be worth something. It sounds like our most immediate option. I know that Sal had something, but like bounty hunting or ship spotting is just sort of something that happens.
Mhm.
I think
I figure we
established.
can do that while we can look out for those ships, get some information while we're doing the medical supply shipment.
And it also sounds like Lister's plan's a little long term.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Well, I mean, and it's a passive generating thing. As long as we do a little exploring now and then, we'll be okay.
Yeah. So on my end, it seems like maybe I'm not super hot on the idea of war games. Just in general.
Yeah, I think the medical supply run seems like the quickest, easiest money out of our options at the moment.
That's a
We
good
also
start.
happen to have a ship that's sort of like geared towards getting into places and taking lots of stuff.
Mhm.
Am I wrong?
No, you've got a good amount of cargo space on the ship. You've got about what is that? You've got like 40 tons worth of space, docking space, in the ship's holds in the cargo bays, and then actually you could carry another 4 tons actually on the shuttle's cargo. So if you
Sounds
had
good to
that
me.
all loaded and everything else loaded, you could be taking about 44 tons of cargo. So you're definitely not like a far trader or a fat trader or something, but you can haul, enough. Ursula is an interesting mix of being able to carry like a reasonable amount of cargo, and also you've got 10 staterooms. So if you were thinking you could take people, and they're all upper berth, right? So as well as having your very interesting and somewhat high-end lounge. And as we were investigating the ship last session, it's also very well apportioned, right? A little out of date, but it's a very nicely put together ship. It's been well maintained and loved, at least on the inside. It is over 100 years old, so the outside tends to show it a little more than anything else. So the what was the timing on that? Did Portia give you?
I don't recall. Let me pull it up really fast. I
think it was it's a J2 run, so it's 2 weeks to get there and 2 weeks back, but you have a week before you need to be there.
Yeah,
I believe.
So it is the most immediate, it is definitely the most immediate that can be done. Yeah, we just got a week to prep.
Cool. That'll give me a little time to track down some info. Maybe ask for Dave's help, or Lister's help in investigating like the last known like locations of some of these ships and stuff, so we can see if any of them are on our way.
Sure.
Can't hurt.
So I think, Sally, you've got the info. I think I sent you the info on the ships.
I do, yes.
That you have. So if you want to do that with Benjamin.
Yeah, I am not super great at investigating, but I will try. I can definitely go around and threaten my contacts.
Sure. I mean, yeah. So there's definitely some ways you could do it, right? You could be doing like data crawls of ship manifests and all kinds of things. You could be, seeing any of your contacts you have, kind of any way you can think of that you might want to track down some ships I'm fair game for. And you could do it, or talk some of your friends, or at least crewmates.
Sister's gonna help you more than I will, I promise.
Yeah.
I mean, I can certainly do computer data searchy stuff real well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if your intimidation tactics are better than my investigation tactics as far as people interaction.
Why not try both?
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Our face character is out for the day.
That's
Well,
all right.
The nice
So
one.
frustrated.
Like
The nice one.
you don't
That's
like
true.
you can be successful, just not nice about it.
Yeah, so Sal probably finds you in the ship, and gives you the rundown on the ships so there's 3 far traders, 1 yacht. The yacht is called the YOLO 2. The far traders are the Golden Noose, the Lone Lady, and the Caliper. And she gives you the owners' names and stuff, and they all have outstanding payments. So if we bring them in, we could, collect quite a bit of money. I can start, leaning on some of my contacts here, but I don't know. You might be able to dig up some info on them that I wouldn't be able to get.
Sure. Maybe I'll see about getting into the station docking computer to see if any of these listed ships
Oh yeah,
have been here recently.
yeah.
Sure.
'Cause that would
Why
give
don't
us
you
idea? Oh,
an idea of
That
those
was-
guys.
that was the die going for a walk under my desk. Hold on.
Oh.
There we go. Now that it's warmed up, we're good.
So once you make an investigate roll,
Okay.
Benjamin,
Investigate and a stat. Or...
investigate and intelligence.
So that's a 10.
Excellent. Which ship do you want to start with? You'll need to do a search on each ship.
Oh, okay.
So, you're just looking at you're just looking at the records to see if any of these ships have been here.
to the station, yeah, or dates, yeah. So we could know how many jumps away they might be by now, etc.
Sure. So one of the ships you do get a hit on one of the ships here from Yuma Station. It's about 2 months old, and it's the Caliper. Was here about 2 months ago, and you can see that it was at the station for about 3 weeks.
Does that have any log of their intended destinations or anything attached to it, or?
No, there wasn't they didn't file a extant flight plan with the station, and the station doesn't seem to care. You don't see a lot of those, actually.
Sure.
As you look, it's like,
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anybody that's particularly good at the jump drive, the whatever skill is that? Engineer J drive, or
yes, engineer.
No,
and then J
astrogation
drive.
maybe is the word I'm thinking of.
Navigation?
That's
I think
navigation.
Yeah, astrogation is the stars, and navigation is on a planet, right?
Yeah. So if somebody has astrogation, to maybe see about figuring out likely routes or something.
Also, our system's broken.
Oh yeah. It's super janky. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It
super out of
works.
date. Well,
Maybe
talked
if we
about getting it
wait,
fixed.
someone will show up that's good at that.
Yeah, I was gonna say our mechanic is also out sick, so
Sure.
he ate a bad meatball.
Well, we know it was here recently. You would share that information with Sal, yeah?
Sure.
I could go I could go down to the bar by the docks and see if buying any of those, you know, the ship hands some drinks would turn up some info on like who saw the ship. Maybe they came in and talked about where they were going. Maybe somebody overheard something.
Yeah.
It's better. It's the lead we have. Let's just take it.
Yeah. I dig it.
And I will say that when you were checking where they were docked, the ship was docked in the lower quadrants ring, not up where Ursula is.
But like down where we met up.
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah, down in that area. Yep.
Cool. I know that area well.
Yes, and you know, because I love continuity in a series. I'm sure the underbelly is one of the favorite places for a lot of the dock workers to hang out.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
So please proceed.
Who would like to go to the bar with me?
I mean, I'll go, but I'm not going to be very helpful. I promise.
But it might be fun.
I will go. I feel like your definition of fun and my definition of fun are very different.
Probably. How fun do you think a bar fight would be?
That's not a word that means fun, right? Like, what's the opposite of fun? Not fun, but not boring. Like, no.
Okay, so when I yell duck.
Sure. I'll trust you that far.
Cool. So we'll.
Oh.
Are you gonna come, Benjamin?
Yeah. I'll come along, have a drink.
Sounds good.
I think Miles is going to stay with the ship because he's trying to figure out the reactor. Right. This is now his giant puzzle to attempt to sort, since no one on the station knows what the hell to do with this thing, and it's hyper custom.
He's got a finger in the rad leak, and he can't leave.
It's just like a little leak that happens every once in a while. We're fine.
Fine.
It's probably fine.
How bad
It's
could it be?
probably okay.
Sure. They'll send a limousine out if you call for one and to bring you onto the station.
Cool.
Do you want them to take you back to the commercial ring you were before, or do you want them to actually take you downtown?
I think the commercial ring, because I don't want them to know where we're going. Old habits.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Great. They'll come out, pick you up, bring you in into the commercial plaza.
Sweet. And then I'm assuming I know how to get down to the lower decks from there.
Yes, absolutely.
You just beeline and we just have to chase after you.
Yeah.
You can see that there's a bit of traffic today. There's a good amount of intersystem ships going back and forth between the planet and the station. And there's actually one of the larger ships that have come in and is actually docking up to the big docking arm. So there's some number of travelers that are coming in to the station, which is always exciting because new blood, fresh money, always welcome.
Sweet. So we'll saunter into the underbelly and make sure my table is available.
It is. There's no one sitting at it.
Good. Excellent.
The audacity. Twice in
This
one.
is where that not fun comes in.
Wait, let me ask a question first. Sorry. Benjamin, are you known to be paranoid amongst people you've worked with before? Would Alex know you're paranoid?
I mean, it's a safe assumption, I think. Yeah. I mean, you just have to watch the show. kind of get that. I mean, I think his actual personality is at like an 8. on the
Mhm.
show it's like a 12, right? He just dials it up in the extreme for the show,
Right.
but like he's still up there when it's off the air.
Right. So I'm gonna do a teeny retcon because I didn't think to ask that. So Alex, you came in on the ship that's at the docking arm, and your your kind of knowledge of Benjamin and your past association kind of gives you the inspiration that he's probably been shacking up down near the comms station. And I think it would be a little better storytelling if you've found this bar that looks particularly seedy, has a lot of vid screens in it, really feels like the kind of place where Benjamin might try to spend some of his off hours. And knowing him to be very paranoid, there is one table that is uniquely situated to give you a full view of the room while having no one be able to come in behind you. And so that probably seems like the table that Benjamin's going to show up at, because that really sounds like him.
It has salamander carved into it.
And
but
the hash
if-
marks.
Very aggressive letter.
Right. But you probably think, and then I'll stop railroading you. You'll probably think that this is a good table to be sitting at, because if Benjamin's going to show up at a bar,
I don't know.
which
It's
he
been a
does,
long trip. I think Alex will just stay in tonight. No, kidding.
perfectly fine. Absolutely.
Let's see. So yeah, having
No,
spied
but
that.
my second favorite improv.
Yeah,
No,
everyone's favorite thing to watch. 5 people doing separate things in different scenes, and the GM having a conversation between NPCs. Perfect.
Welcome to our show.
I don't think it would occur to Alex that Benjamin is traveling with a dangerous gun person. If it's a lady who's really good with guns, is that a Gundam?
Ooh,
Oh.
Ow.
I'll take it. Yes.
Somebody high-fived me, so it's a good joke.
Aggressive.
I don't make the rules. So yeah, I think he would just see that table, see like, well, no one's sitting there. He probably has it reserved. I'll just sit at the table until he gets here, unless any of the servers tell me to move. Then, yeah, because I'm not like trying to sneak up on him or anything. I
Right.
want to be in full view of.
Sure. So so I'm assuming that means you'll sit so you can see the whole place as opposed to with your back to the door.
Yeah, and I assume it's like I could have come in and stowed my stuff in a room somewhere.
Sure. Yeah.
And-
You've got a room.
Okay.
At whatever level you feel accommodates you, but there's kind of like nicer rooms up near the commercial plaza, and then there are, because the station is so full, because they're building a ring near here, a jump ring. So there's and they haven't actually got any extant domiciles built, right?
Yeah.
So all the people that are working on the ring, plus all the people that work on the station, plus people that are traveling and visiting, are all crammed in there. So they've actually taken some of the lower cargo area and converted that into like low, not low berth passage, not like for cryo,
Yeah.
but pretty crappy rooms.
I think Alex is probably not down to Coffin Motel yet, but is budget conscious, so is
Mhm.
Somewhere relatively cheap, but with good security. That's the thing, is the least he could spend with a good security, because he has a lot of it, equipment, expensive equipment and stuff, and his vac suit breaks. He's got his own real nice personalized vac suit that he's got a giant crate that he travels with, so it's got to stay secure somewhere.
Yeah, I would think you would find something that's closer to the commercial ring, but kind of the lower level of the commercial, the worst part of the best part of the station. And then you find someone who has cleverly taken a smaller stateroom and then divided it into 2 really
Sure.
small staterooms. So, it's pretty much good for storing your stuff and sleeping.
It's
you're
a
not having
motel
people over
sublet. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a motel
Amazing.
sublet. Yeah.
I was gonna ask too. I think it's within our tech level. There's like there was a body armor that looks like a suit.
Oh, right. Yes, there is. There is body armor that
There's like the reflect
that
or
looks
whatever.
like clothing. Yeah, reflect is for
Protect suit.
Protect. Yeah,
Yeah,
Protect suit.
I was looking at it too.
Yep. Yeah, you can definitely have
Okay. It's
impact
TL9.
resistance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's in a black suit with the black tie but plain white shirt. I didn't have a plain white shirt, so I just have my dotted one. But so he's in a suit. I don't know if it's obvious that that's a. I mean,
it's not. The protect suits are not obvious. They look like normal clothing.
Yeah.
But they're like ballistic resistant and stuff.
I think the protect suit, it does have a little bit of like, if somebody knows what they're looking at, like you can tell that it's a little bulked, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
It's the Diplo vest that is the one that's like slightly less protection but practically invisible.
Oh, actually,
I sort of don't mind if people could tell, like, he's a little protected. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, actually, it is. I'm looking at it right now. So it's a slim-fitting business suit woven from protective fibers. The Protect suit is obviously armor, but obviously confers a degree of respectability without making the traveler appear like a thug. So
that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, you can turn melee weapons and soften the blow of small arms fire.
Is this the kind of place where people walk around with guns on their hip?
Some folks do. It's, think of this as a
okay.
Yeah, it's, this is a bit of we're in a space western, right? So you're gonna have people that are packing definitely down here much more than on.
Okay, so like an underarm holster wouldn't be out of place.
No, not at all.
A place like this. Okay, so
you probably don't see people walking around with like rifles.
Right.
And assault weapons, right? But
it's not weird if there's like if somebody
sorry, Sal.
Harness. Yeah. Okay.
Don't see it. It's in the layers.
That's true. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna sort of camp out at that spot. Oh, and then send a message. Well, I guess that's a question, Dave. Would Alex have Benjamin's in any level of like personal contact? Since we did chit chat about alien conspiracy theories at one point,
it's probably like we're friended on some version of social media or
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah. So like you could send me a direct message on there, kind of thing.
Okay.
I mean, like I probably have the equivalent of a Google Voice line to like let callers send messages that that kind of thing. But that might take a little extra time for me to get because it's not like I'm checking that on my phone all the time. It's like when I'm doing show prep, I look at that.
Yeah, no, I just think he'd probably like sit down in that seat, take a selfie in the booth, and just send that to you. Like, this looks like the kind of place you would hang out. Are you in town? And then send tweet.
Okay.
So you can decide, Benjamin, whether you're getting notifications or not.
Yeah, well, I probably would for that. And I get that right as we're walking into the place.
Sounds perfect.
I'm probably like, hey guys, we should.
And Sal, someone's sitting at your table.
Maybe. Son of a bitch, feline.
Can I grab Sal's like arm in like sort of that like maybe we don't murder everyone at the bar right away.
Did you grab my sleeve or my arm? And
Let's go with sleeve. Let's go with sleeve.
Yeah.
I have a -1 to strength. I'm not grabbing anything well.
It's just that little kid, like, please whisk me along next to you. Hold.
So she just like definitely like turns and pulls her arms out of the sleeves and keeps going.
Just hold
now you're just holding a jacket. It's heavy, there's knives in it. Don't drop it.
Oh God.
I guess, is this like a big place? Would I notice them walking in? It's like, do I see this dangerous person walking towards the table?
It's not huge, right? It's a smaller place. It's somewhat hole in the wall. Oh, and you definitely will notice Salamander walking in.
And Benjamin
and then you'll like kind of see, there is a threat coming in, and then someone that looks like a a sock, a human sock, how Blue comes dresses. Yes, very casual, very comfortable. And then you'll see someone behind them who's looking at their.
Yeah, it's probably like you saw my face first because I held up the phone and it lit up like in the dimness of the entrance. And then from there, your eyes are like, wait, there's something coming at me. Ah!
You know when all the fish swim out of the area?
Yeah, go there, right? Go to where they came from.
And no one ever came up to you to say anything, but the audience sees that there's a couple of the wait staff that are all leaning together and like looking over with bemused looks on their faces as they've been anticipating the arrival of Sal at some point.
Sure.
It's always good fun, and there's not always a lot of that to be had at the underbelly.
So I should mention Alex is like, maybe like 6'1", 6'2", and a little broad, like probably a former athlete. He's not like a Hulk or anything, but he's, like a little thicker than I am through the like chest and shoulders that, worth noting. But he's like getting up. I don't think he's an idiot. Like he doesn't, like he knows that Sal's mad, but I think he's getting up in the like, hello, like he's extending his hand to greet like standing up as a politeness to greet the person coming over to him.
I think, depending on how like closely you're watching her facial expression, like when you stand up and she gets the full eyeful, there's a little bit of like an eyebrow twitch, and the angry for a second goes like, hey, and then back to angry.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not totally unaware of these types of things. But so
he just like stands up unthreateningly.
Yeah, he stands up and is just like extending his hand, like, hello, are you with Benjamin?
So as she gets over to your table, she just like pulls out a large weapon and plunks it on the table, pointing at where her name is carved into it, and goes, "You're at my table."
Oh, you're Sal.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, Alex. And she like slowly looks you up and down.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that meant it was your table. It
literally has my name on it.
Well, yeah. I should have realized.
You know what? You can stay.
Okay. I was gonna buy drinks anyway. Should I buy a round?
It sounds great.
Okay. Sorry about the table situation. Benjamin.
Yeah. Then I probably like walk over and I'm like, hello, Alex.
Well, I'm so glad I caught up to you. I was very excited to see your announcement go out because, as it happens, I'm in a position to, I think, be somewhat helpful. But as you know, we've followed some of the same lines of study, and I'd be real interested in maybe another collaboration.
I see.
Okay, so out of character question for you, Dave. Do you follow the academic world, academic news at all?
I think I do, but only really if it applies to like computer science.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah, this wasn't a computer science. There was a conference where Alex got thrown out recently, but it wasn't about computer science. So,
what's your field of study?
Well, archaeology is the respectable one, but he also has a PhD in sophontology, which is a study of intelligent species with a sampled set of one.
So you're basically a glorified sociologist.
Right, but if there are alien species, I am ready.
Right, you're really more of a theoretical field than a practical field, but but cutting edge research in it. And I'm going to say, Dave, you probably would have heard about that. I think that I think Dr. Hellman would have mentioned it because he was at the conference.
All right,
and in a conversation that you've had with him since you you communicate
Yeah.
irregularly.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Why did you get thrown out of like, did you mention the getting thrown out in character?
No, I was
Okay.
checking to see if
I would
heard
remember
about
that,
it.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so you're still pursuing your field research? Is that your plan?
Indeed, yes. I have followed a few leads actually in this direction that nothing has really panned out yet, but I saw your broadcast, and that seems like you've latched on to something important. And really, some of my other opportunities dried up after the conference I attended recently, and I sort of have some opportunities to explore on my own, and I thought it might be good to collaborate.
Sure. I see. Well, I wouldn't mind like doing a special guest spot kind of a situation. We could use the credibility of someone with your academic research background. Now, it's not like a paid special guest thing. It's more like an exposure thing, right? Like you get out there and
yeah, I was actually thinking it would be the other way around. If you have room for more backers on your ship, I was able to cash out some of the things I was working on, and the severance package that I got when I left the Scouts has just been sitting in a bank. And I've been looking for a ship to sign on with, and I've actually got, I don't know how to, like, do people talk in terms of out of character? Do people say like, I have 2 ship shares?
Yeah, they do. Because basically they're like credits through banks type of thing, right? That you can apply. So you can say, well, I have a couple of ship shares that I can throw in.
So then, yeah, I've been looking to invest this pair of ship shares that I've had stowed away, and it seems time to ship out.
Well, and I kind of do the like subtle across the table look at the other two, like, the eyeball like look at you guys and do the like, what do you think face, just for a second.
Oh, these are your shipmates.
For Alex's and Jason's benefit, Blue blinks less than the normal human probably should, and it's always kind of a slow blink.
Well, that's awesome. Can I roll investigate to see if I notice that?
Sure.
That sounds
Staring
creepy
at you.
and awesome.
If you just happen to pick up on it.
Okay, how do I roll dice in this game?
So you're gonna roll 2d6. It's a great question. So you're gonna roll 2d6 against any time you're called for a roll, and you take look at the skill. If you have a modifier to the skill, or if you have like whatever your investigate is at, you add that to the die roll, and then there's always an associated stat. So because you're trying to see if you notice her odd blinking, I'm going to have you add your social die modifier.
Right, and a 6 is a -1, right?
No, 6, 7, 8, I believe is even on.
6, 7, 8 is even. Okay, so then I have a 1 in investigate. Is that the right skill to use for this?
Sure.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of. There's it's kind of when you're trying to find something. I know you can't wait to use vac-suit. You're like, please put us in a perilous situation, or the vac-suit will save me. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Investigate usually is used for finding out information, like you're searching for info. They kind of don't have just a perception check, which is interesting, because they just kind of assume you're going to see it or not see it. But if you would like to, if you're like, I want to be very aware of what they're doing, sure, I would let you go ahead and use investigate. You're kind of it incorporates keen observation and forensics and detailed analysis. So
I was figuring, since Clara mentioned it, it's probably something where he's like, "What's off here?" And then maybe he could tell, maybe he can't.
Yeah,
But
sure.
okay.
That is fine with me.
Yeah, Blue's just a weird person.
Anytime you've been looking at Blue, you're like, they haven't blinked yet.
They haven't blinked yet.
And if I have a investigative 1, I just add 1 to it.
You add 1 to your die roll. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a total of 8.
Yeah. So that's a 8 or better is a success in Traveler. So yes, you notice that Blue doesn't blink very much. And
He's
when
just a weird
she
person.
does, it's very slow. It's Michael Caine-esque, the lack of blinking that occurs.
Okay.
That's all. She's just a sleepy person.
Yeah. Well, I think there's probably a hitch. Like Alex is extending his hand to introduce himself. Like, "Hi, I'm Alex." Like a little bit of a hitch that he's noticed something.
Yeah. However, like, sure, bring the stranger on our boat. That's fine.
Oh, and I'm not a stranger. We've worked together extensively. Benjamin and I we've a long backlog of projects that we've collaborated on.
We have worked together before. That's true. I know that he is not government stooge. I can tell you that.
Definitely not. No, they definitely did not do right by me, and I have no interest in appeasing them in any way.
So, we are on the lookout to make some money to do some urgent repairs.
Mm-hmm. What's the ship share look like?
So I'll out of character, right? I'll remind everybody that a ship share is basically worth 1 mega credit, right?
Oh.
Like 1% of a ship. But when we were doing all the calculations, we were just using those as a mega credit. So he's got like 2 mega credits worth of power to throw at the ship, which you could use. This is just kind of like your characters would have this knowledge. You could use in a number of ways. You could, use it with the bank and say, "Hey, we'd like to apply this towards our mortgage payments," right? Or you could use it as like a bulk payment against it to bring down your monthly, like any of those like fun bookkeeping things. Because part of Traveler is obviously always bookkeeping.
But could it
yes.
help pay for the stuff that we immediately need to get the ship out like safely?
Only if someone was willing to take the ship share in exchange, right? It's like not just like I've got cash. It's used specifically
It's like a bank loan.
Yeah, it's like banking stuff. You're like, "Oh, hey, I'll take this credit I have to apply towards ship purchases." There are some people that broker in that. So certainly if you wanted to try to find that and get some amount on the dollar against it, but it'll get its full value using with the ship. But sure, if you want to find other things like that, I'm sure that Sal's probably got a contact to make that happen.
Our immediate problem is that we're sort of stuck unless we can get the astrogation system updated.
Well, how out of date it is. I'm trained as a navigator and have experience in astrogation.
Well, it's probably older than all of us added up.
Oh,
it's pretty quirky.
A classic model.
Yeah. Just getting a new expedition off the ground, it takes a lot of upfront investment that didn't leave a lot extra for minor repairs and upgrades, as it were.
Sure. Well,
Blue, out of character, did your contact give you, Portia, did she give you an estimate for like how much that job would pay?
She did. We're looking at 250,000 CR. It's
okay.
Worth it.
Yeah, so that would definitely more than pay for.
And there's a gas giant in the system, which means we can scoop. And the ship is very good at getting fuel from those. So we won't spend money on fuel.
That's great. That's a really efficient.
Well, maybe we start this off on trial basis, and if things work out after a couple of weeks all cooped up in a ship and Alex survives because Sal doesn't take a dislike to him, then then when we get back, we can talk about investment opportunities, right? Does that?
That seems fair.
That seems fair. Yeah.
What's Alex? What's your favorite weapon?
Well, I have some experience with my my pistol here, and I actually recently learned a little bit of the blade work with a sword. Actually, if you can believe that, how weird is that?
Very.
I like it.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't call myself an expert, but I've really enjoyed the process of learning about it.
Well, if you want somebody to spar with, I've got lots of blades. So.
You just pull the jacket over.
If you don't mind,
and
a bit
Sal
of a
literally
clumsy
like
student,
reaches in to what seems to be a jacket of holding.
Yeah,
and like
chainsaw sword.
Do those exist? Can we have one?
That's all.
a chainsaw sword or a jacket of holding.
Chainsaw sword.
They exist.
There's a
Chainsaw swords do exist.
Tech level 8 or something too. It's not a
Yeah,
complicated device to build.
they were a bit of a brutish weapon, but
Yeah.
Part of me that
they're
worships
effective.
chaos wants one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not necessarily trained at how to use it, then you end up looking like Leatherface at the end.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where you're just like, ah!
I actually have melee blade, and I don't remember. I think it just came from being in the Navy. So
When you became an officer, you got that
Yeah.
skill at 0.
So
Yeah.
that's
Sure.
Yeah,
worth-
I sort of
Fun.
got it that way too. Oh, actually, does Blue have any contact with the Marines?
not the
Um,
Marines.
No? Okay.
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
I think your stuff was all naval.
Mine's
Yeah.
all naval. Yeah.
I know sometimes Navy and Marines collaborate, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there terribly long.
oh, okay.
Right. Miles potentially might have some. He was in longer and did some stuff at stations and everything.
Yeah,
so.
and was in like combat missions and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, usually you don't bring the Marines in unless you're gonna go to combat.
Yeah, that. Quick sidebar for Blue, Ben, and Sal. Are we comfortable with the idea of him meeting Ursula?
Well, if he's going to be on the ship, he has to.
And Xanthus?
Here, let's say this. Alex has gone to the bar to get the round of drinks, so you all can
Sure,
talk
yeah.
amongst
Blue
yourselves.
like totally just does this in front of you.
Alex,
Like-
earmuffs.
Cover your ears and hum Battle Hymn of the Republic. What do you guys think of?
Well, I mean, it's weird. Like, having an AI that responsive on an old ship is weird, but it's not like AIs don't exist. Like,
No, yeah, it's just there's something weird about Ursula, and I know that, and we just found out that there's more in her.
yeah, I hear you. But like $2 million.
That it, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of credit. Considering.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Let's be real here. Like, we can figure it out for that kind of money.
Worst case scenario, Sal exists.
Yeah,
He seems pretty cooperative and open to intimidation. I don't think it'll be a problem.
All right. I assume welcome aboard whenever
yeah.
Alex gets back.
I think when you're getting the drinks, the bartender's like, "Oh, hey, it looks like you made it through your meeting with Sal. Congratulations."
Oh, yeah. I mean, she seems really nice, actually.
Yes,
What?
she's very nice.
Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. That's how we all feel about her. Very nice. Here's her favorite drink. You'll want to bring her this.
Okay.
I don't know what you want to order for everybody else.
Well, whatever. I assume they would have asked for whatever they wanted, and I'll have him.
Actually, the
make it with
servers were all waiting for something to happen, and it didn't, and they were kind of disappointed and wandered off to take care of other patrons at the bar.
A couple of them begrudgingly handed over credit sticks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was some like.
Yeah, I mean, I
There's
thought
some- there's some,
Alex
like,
was gonna end
contact
up in
going
a
on between
headlock.
Prince
So
sticks.
that's what.
The night is young.
You
Right?
might still.
They probably know that Benjamin. You've probably been in the underbelly a few times, right? So
Yeah, I am.
yeah,
No,
they'll.
no, I think It was my first night there
Oh, okay. All right.
that
So
last time.
they'll
Mhm.
kind of give you, unless you order something specifically, they'll say, well, there's the kind of the bar specialty. We can,
Oh,
we
whatever it
do
is.
distill our own here.
That's bound to be delicious.
So whatever I come back with is
Okay.
made with the top shelf stuff that they would have here.
Okay.
And probably a pitcher of beer as well. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know how long we're going to be here, but
a while if you bring back a pitcher of beer and drinks for everybody. So
I mean, my pitcher of beer.
The rest of you, what are you having? I am excited. I am eager to get back on the ship to see more about Xanthus, but I will wait as long as you guys would like.
I do want to question the bartender and see if they've
We were here
heard
with a
anything
purpose.
about the
sure.
the caliper.
Sure. Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Cool. So Sal will take her
What?
drink. She just like a little bit too aggressively pats Alex on the shoulder and is like, "Thanks, man," and then walks away
Okay. Yeah.
over to the bar. What's the bartender's name again?
The bartender is Rance. Is his first name?
Hey, Rance. Well done.
Well,
Curious.
yeah, sure. I figured that's what you wanted because that's what you always have.
You know.
Plus, he bought all the top shelf stuff. It's great.
I
Like,
know.
I pretty much could be done for the evening at this point. But
I'm glad I didn't maim him. He sprung for the top shelf stuff.
yeah,
Wondering if you've heard anybody in here talking about the caliper. I know it was on station a couple weeks ago.
the caliper. Yeah, there was a kind of an older guy in here who said that was his ship's name. He was looking for picking up some work, or it seemed like he was maybe doing some trading or mining. He was talking with some of the miners that were up, taking some break days up here.
Oh, okay.
So that's about all I know. But yeah, kind of an older guy. Probably maybe in his like 60s, late 50s, 60s. Black, kind of balding, but short grayish hair. Said he had a ship and he was talking with some of the miners, and not that I listened to the conversations, but
Well, I never, you overhear stuff all the time.
right, not your stuff though. I never overhear your stuff.
Oh, I know you don't.
Never yours.
It's good. My outfits are sound dampening. It's probably that. Cool. Yeah, I think the owner's name is Jaden Reese. I don't know him, but just looking to get in touch with them for the ship. Cool. You said some of the miners, he was talking to them.
Yeah.
Any of you guys in here now?
Actually, that gal back there, and he points over to like a pretty physically large, imposing woman who's over at the end of the bar. He's like, yeah, she was one of them. So
Alright.
maybe she knows.
Cool. You know what she's drinking?
Oh yeah, she's having Sundowns, which is like a really nice drink that actually, when it's made, the liquor goes in and it mixes, and it starts out as this really bright yellow, and then it fades to an orange, and then to like a musky purple.
Ooh.
So it's like this really nice show drink, and that's what they're having.
Put one of those on Alex's tab for me, and I'll take it over to her.
Oh yeah, sure, of course. And he brings over. He's like, do you want me to like make it right there as you come over, or because otherwise it kind of loses the presentation flavor?
Oh yeah. Make sure you make it right when I get over there.
Okay, yeah, So he'll follow you over, and as you come up, he like puts it in. He's like, oh, this is, and he like, he's like, this is from the lady. Oh, well, right there, and he points to you, and then like vacates.
She looks, and I'm just like, oh, hello.
Oh, yeah. Hey, wow, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I'm Sal, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen you in here before. Yeah, everybody knows who you are. Wow. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Just noticed you and my friend, the bartender, was telling me that you spoke to the owner of the Caliper recently, huh?
Oh, yeah. There was a guy. I guess that was the name of his ship. There was a guy who came in a couple weeks ago, was asking a lot about what was around here for jobs in terms of like trading or mining. He seemed to be pretty knowledgeable. He was looking to get some kind of, I think like a load on the ship, some cargo, trying to do a trade run. Most of the stuff here, down on RZ 291, is just, it's already all claimed,
Okay.
by Renzoria. But, other than that, there are some stuff on the backside of the planet that's, unclaimed. There's definitely some asteroid fields around here we sent him to. He might be able to do some belter work there.
Okay.
Kind of sparse. I don't know if it was helpful or not, but he definitely looked like he was, between jobs, between loads, and looking to pick up something.
Yeah. Cool. Maybe I'll be able to track him down. You said that, what was the asteroid belt you sent him to?
Oh, just to the belt, just here in the sector.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I have some. I have a ship myself, and.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but.
Well, maybe I can show it to you sometime next time I'm coming back through here.
Oh, that sounds good. I like ships.
Cool.
And she's kind of like, and she's big. She's built, right? But she's like, oh yeah, sure. And she kind of like straightens up and does a little flex, a little gun show.
Nice. That gets a good response from Sal. She's like, I like it. Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh yeah, I'd invite you down. I'm up here because I've got one more day on my break rotation, and there's certainly more interesting stuff to do up here than there is, down at Rust Rise. But I really don't think I'd invite you down to see the colony. It's not very exciting.
Oh, no worries. I haven't been to the colony. I've spent a lot of time up here, and now mostly stay on the ship, unless we come out and carouse. And I'll be here. You gonna be here tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning I go back, but I'm here
in the
tonight.
morning. Let me write down the berth number for my ship. Why don't you come by later?
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to.
I'll tell her where the ship is.
Okay. Berth 5, I think we had you.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets the berth number. She's like, oh, yeah, sure. Because it's a like upper ring berth number, right? It's less than like 4 digits. Like, woo, nice. Yeah, sure. What time?
What time is it now? Let's see.
It's
like,
station time.
In the morning. What time is it?
Yeah, I think it's like probably, I'm trying to remember where we left off last episode. But it's probably like, maybe just before, let's say, it's like between lunch and dinner. Let's say if we were talking our time here, it's like, 3:30 or something, or 4 in the afternoon.
Okay. I'll tell her like after dinner, like 8:30 time ish.
Okay. Oh yeah. Great. I'll definitely be there.
Sounds good. We'll see you later. And then
Sure.
Go back to my table. Managed to get some info about the Caliper. Might be out in the asteroid belt. They were looking for some work here. The captain was looking for some work, it sounded like. So if we're heading that way, maybe we could catch it.
We could take a look.
Do I have an idea as to where the the med supply run is going to take us?
Yeah, Portia's given you coordinates. It's core word, like two. It's a single jump. It's a J2 jump over. Is where you'll meet her, and then there's basically gas giant data refuel, and then it's a J1 from there over. So it's basically like 2 weeks to get there, and then a week to the other one, and then a week back in 2 weeks. But there's gas giants in all the locations that you're going to.
Brilliant.
So that shouldn't be an issue.
So so I assume the asteroid belt is on our way?
Like medical run and then do the delivery and then
just keep an eye out.
And then spend 2 weeks doing the little side jump to check the asteroid.
Yeah, you've got like a week before you need to jump. You need to be there in 3 weeks, and it's a 2-week trip. So you have a week of in system or whatever you want to do time. And the asteroid field is in system. So
okay.
We can take a look.
You could do that before you go.
In that case, it sounds like it's worth taking a look. Or we can spend another week here at Yuma.
Yuma Station, beautiful Yuma Station. Adventure awaits.
Well, I mean, like, I'm certainly more than willing to go try it out. You know, like, let's get out there and see what we can do.
Sure.
You know,
worst thing, like best case scenario, we come back with at least a little bit of bounty, and worst case scenario, we come back in time for the run.
Yeah, exactly. We know when we have to give up to get back in here and do the actual job.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean whatever. I'm gonna tell you how long it's gonna be asteroid field. You haven't asked me yet. What am I doing? What the heck? Make you guys work for something. Good God.
We don't have a map of the locations.
Map of the known universe.
That would be useful.
Well,
so Sal, you come back to the table?
Yeah, and I tell him what the minor. What was her? She gave me her name. I forget.
Nope, didn't ask.
You didn't ask. I've been taking notes.
Details. Well, that nice lady.
No running back.
Oh no, I'm not gonna run back and ask her name. I'll just ask her later.
It feels pretty on brand for Sal, by the way, to go, you know, that nice lady, as you realize, I didn't even get their name.
Mental note, probably ask her later. So it sounds like our ship, the Caliber, might be out in the asteroid field. If we want to head out and take a look.
If it's in system, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, be a nice little drive, not too far.
So
Alex?
Maybe this would be an appropriate trial for as a shakedown cruise, so to speak. If I can be helpful in some way.
I think that sounds perfect.
Sure.
And in the appearing as the minor gal, right? If this would be, because now that now there's going to be another thing that happens. I would cast her as like Gwyneth Christie.
Yes.
Yes.
We need more of her in our lives.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
So yeah, you're like, oh yeah, actually big, and then you kind of see at one point while you're all talking, she gets up because she's gonna leave, and then you're like, oh, she's a tall drink of water too. Like you kind of get the full stature.
I mean,
Nice.
I think that's extra intimidating in a person that works underground,
Yeah.
right? Like, if you,
Like, how did you?
they literally have to make bigger tunnels.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, a lot of the mining is underground. There's some above surface fracking
sure.
stuff that happens too and everything. But yes, yeah. I mean, probably not really excited about being in any tight tunneling that's happened.
Well, all right. So maybe we make sure we've got some food stock and stuff. We could just take care of that quick on the way back to the ship, and
Mhm.
then we can go take a look for this missing vessel.
Oh, we might want to head out in the morning, though. I got some stuff to do tonight.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I'll like pin down our like we had to take a limo here because our ship's not actually physically docked, right?
Right. It's in like a
Okay.
park a
So-
park area specifically.
So
And they will send a limo out. I mean, you could always take your ship's boat if you wanted places as well. But they send the limo out because you're an
Right,
important
right.
vessel.
The ambassador.
We're ambassadors.
That's right.
The ambassador. In fact, it's amazing that the ambassador's down here, but maybe people don't really know that as much yet.
I mean, Sal's going to do some diplomacy tonight, so, you know.
So that's okay. Here's what we'll do, and I'll write down like my second comlink number, and I'll give it to Alex, and I'll be
Wow,
like,
one layer closer.
so I will be like, hey, why don't you call me at 9, and we'll figure out where we're gonna meet up to get out to the ship.
All right. That's
Sound
fine.
good.
Yep.
Other than that, yeah, great. I mean, it feels awkward to be like, okay, cool, we've made our plans for the night, and it's 3:00 in the afternoon. But like, yeah, all right, see you guys. I'll go look for food stock. I'm okay at that.
Sure.
So make
Yeah.
sure
I
we-
mean, Ursula did put together a list for you of like, well, to replenish the stores, this is what's required. And she's, happy to order it and have it delivered. But if there's stuff that you want to go get that's, special, obviously.
Sure. Well, yeah. I'd like use that list so we're not going to die in space, and then I'll go find a couple of other things that I might want
Okay.
to make.
Nice. And
Blue has
Blue,
functionally extroverted for the day and is like, all right.
time to
when
get back to the
can we
ship.
go back?
And then-
We'll stay out longer. and,
When
like,
I have the new contact, I'm gonna text Benjamin and ask him. Let's see, how's he gonna do this? I think he's just gonna say, "Have we already made first contact in your friend?"
Like I'd probably look at the phone for a minute and be like, oh, and then then the realization will dawn on me, and I'll say, no, just it seems like a very nice person, just very not social, right? Just
I
that
love the
kinda
idea
thing.
that you're like,
I suspect it might have something to do with, a bad time military service, some kind of maybe ship disaster, survived a bad thing, that kind of thing. Trauma can
And
do
you-
a lot of strange.
You communicate that in the
Yeah.
text
Like it would be like, I wouldn't be
Okay.
like, I wouldn't be like
please
just,
say it out loud.
yeah.
I like the idea that there's this Alex is all beep, 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 and then while you're also at the bar, Benjamin's like all like typing out like a textbook on the
Yeah.
device. However that works in the space future. I'm assuming we're still two thumb typing. I don't know why, but
It's efficient.
Because I
I mean,
mean,
I have the
like,
neural
what other
colors.
interface are we gonna have? Like,
there is a data jack type thing in the book.
yeah. If you
yeah.
had a data jack installed, you could do that.
Benjamin's not getting one of those. I will tell you
There
right
are
now.
there are neural options. Like Blue has one.
You're absolutely right.
Do people know Blue has one?
I think she mentioned she has a. Oh God, I can't remember. It was last game, and last game was like an eon ago. I think she brought it up briefly. I know she's checked in with Ursula through it. So
Right. I think that you
yeah,
asked.
you did.
But you've been using your no. I actually think what happens is you've been using your comms the whole time because you didn't want to Neuralink into somebody.
Uh,
So I
we
don't
have
think
not
they
broached
actually
that
know.
subject yet.
Right? Ursula knows. You know that you can talk with Ursula, but I don't think you
Yeah.
actually.
You
mentioned
should
it.
always have permission before you Neuralink into someone. That's,
Yeah. And we haven't broached the other subjects yet. So
No,
there's just
no.
a weird sock who happens to have a Neuralink.
So
Right.
I don't totally understand the reference to you being a sock.
Oh, it just wears like sweatpants, sweatshirt, like all probably in
Oh.
like gray and like just a very comfy person. It's a dumb reference to something else. but
Okay.
She's
Great.
just like a schlubby looking person.
Well, I heard comfy. That's
Very comfy.
yeah. The most cozy psychic.
Right.
The
You're
most
like
cozy psychic.
Right.
But none of us
and
know
just-
about that part, though.
Right. I was
no
gonna say,
one's-
yeah, right. Yeah. The none of the crew know about any of that good stuff.
And
Yeah.
I will say, but for the record, Benjamin has not dissuaded me. I'm pretty sure Blue is an alien or part alien, and that's why she's hanging around with him.
I mean, entirely, like, that could be your theory, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I was like, I'm
all
trying
the
to
pieces fit together. So
Oh, you're here for that.
honestly, she's already spoken aloud to the ship without anyone around, but like it's a limited amount of time before I think it comes out. We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts.
So just to make sure I understand the scene. So Benjamin's off to go find food and Sal has errands to run. What's Blue doing?
I want to get back to the ship as fast as possible.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you just leave, Blue? Like as Benjamin's like, oh, hey, I
You
gotta
just
get
get
the
up and
shop,"
walk
like,
away.
you just get up and walk off.
stand up and go like, I have to go, and walks away.
I must return to my
Thank you.
people.
Just like without blinking, I have to go.
All right.
So, yeah.
I'm just gonna stay sitting at Sal's table by myself then.
She's still here.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
leaving. Okay.
No, I don't have stuff to do until 8:30.
Okay.
Do you want to get your drink on with Alex?
Sure. He's buying, right?
Yep.
Then yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of this as like Alex isn't rich, but I guess he does have resources right now, and he's sort of in that coasting of like, I need to hit the next thing, like whatever that next thing is, and land it. Okay.
If
But
you
you
order drinks
do have
before-
some liquid cash.
yeah.
if you order drinks before Blue leaves, she will just take one and walk away.
Just walk out with the glass. Yeah.
Yes.
I would love that.
Amazing.
Just like drinks come out, and she's just like, I have to go, and leaves.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
no one-
not personal. She just does that.
A weird person, man.
Oh, I'm not offended. I've worked with a lot of the kind of the people that Benjamin works with, and we're in a similar field. So
I worked with Benjamin once. That's how we met.
Oh, really? What type of work do you do?
Wet work mostly.
Oh, I see. Security specialist.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. Okay. No, I understand that.
Mhm. He wanted some I don't know, some computer things secured. It was real hard to pry out with a knife, but I got it.
Oh, I see. And have you been working together long?
No, I haven't worked with him in a long time, and then just ran into these guys recently and went in on a ship together.
Oh,
Been pretty
okay.
fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard to find a good ship opportunity with people you can trust. So that's the tricky part. You wind up there in the black, and you better trust the people you're with.
Yep. Yeah, I know our other shipmate, and then Blue was the only one I didn't know, but she seems pretty cool. So
Yeah. So you haven't known her for very long either.
no, she's probably the one I know the least, but
Interesting. Yeah, I did a fair amount of travel on my own. I've never really traveled with a crew. It'll be a little strange actually making the chain. I'm just so used to, talking to the panels and the equipment, and just,
some of our crew does that too.
oh well, yeah. So it
I-
seems understandable to me.
used to working by myself too. What kind of work do you normally do?
Well, I wouldn't say normally, but I was with the Scouts for a number of years. Now, Bill, my understanding is that's basically like a governmental
it's a
survey.
it's a sponsored by, it's like an off branch of the Navy, but it's not military,
Right.
Right. And basically the Scouts are supported by both governments and megacorps.
Okay.
Right, like everybody is interested in finding new opportunities, and Scouts are, notoriously the ones that are commonly alone in a ship, going out trying to find, brave new worlds. Happy First Contact Day, everybody! If I didn't say it earlier, and yeah, so they're, they kind of have the same cachet in certain circles, like test pilots, right? Like these are folks that like will just get in a single occupant pilot vessel and go places where people don't go. And not all of them come back, because sometimes they do a jump and there's no gas giants, or they have engine problems and, they're on their own.
Whoops.
Yeah. So yeah, I sort of did it backwards, really. I couldn't leave home fast enough. And I was able to qualify for the Scouts. And then when I left the Scouts, then I did my university time as an old man. He's like in his 30s.
Yeah, he's like the same age as you, right? Basically.
Unimaginably old.
Just ancient. Well, I mean, in assassin years, I am a 900-year-old.
Right.
Yeah, I'm mostly used to working by myself too, but these guys mostly stay out of my way. They don't touch my stuff. It's great.
Oh, well, right. I will want to know which stuff is your stuff, because I would also like to extend that respect.
Yeah, just don't go in the belly turret or the main the main stateroom.
Oh, I see. So, what is it not a bunk? What kind of ship is this?
I forget, what kind of ship do we have?
It's a K-class safari ship that's been heavily modified.
Oh, right. So it's a safari ship, but it was already like heavily modified before we got it. So
I see.
But we've got, several staterooms, so there's plenty of room for you.
I wasn't expecting to have my own room. That'll be nice, actually. Okay. No, right. So okay, yeah, I'll stay out of the main stateroom. That's not an issue. And I'm not qualified as a gunner anyway, so that double not an issue. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out there again. So it's been a long time since I've just been out in the middle of nowhere, and hope I can find that again.
Yeah, should be fun. So how'd you meet Benjamin?
Oh, well, we had some intersecting interests. And Alex is not hesitating as much as I am, because I'm trying to think of how he would describe it. But he's like watching Sal for like, at what point does what registers, But yeah, she's kind of speaks somewhat obliquely about that we're in similar academic circles, and we've followed a lot of same lines of research, and yeah, that's yeah.
So you look into the weird stuff too?
Yes. I think that's probably a safe way to put it. I my particular field of study is in following the rise of intelligent societies, and how that works, what spurs their rise, what motivates them. So I'm looking forward to finding whatever intelligent beings. Well, it's a small sample size right now, but I'm adding in all the data that I can find.
Well, If we find data that's hostile, I'll be able to take care of it, so don't worry.
Well, that's a relief. It's a relief. Yeah, like I said before, I'd be very interested in sparring. My own combat experience is limited. As a scout, it wasn't really a focus. Actually, I think I learned more about how to fight at university than I did as a scout. But yeah,
That seems fair.
I made a friend while I was with the scouts who was showing me how to use a sword, and then it just sort of was in my storage for a long time. I was trying to figure out what to do with it and how to. It's a dangerous weapon, and I don't want to, hurt someone with it unless I need to. And
That's sort of the point.
yeah, well, yeah, it is pointy, but. Yeah, it's just an interesting situation to be in. That the place I came from was not great, and there were fist fights and whatnot. But I don't know. I never really had to fight for my life or anything, and so it was odd that I learned way more about it in university than I ever did in my professional life.
Useful skill to have. I think we can train you up a little bit. Shouldn't be too hard.
Well, I'd appreciate that.
I'm gonna have you seen there if that works for both of you.
Yep.
Great. And you continue to have chit chat into as long as you both want to hang out. Blue, I think you'll make it back to the ship in fairly quick order.
At some point, Blue will buy. Has come across a sword. I don't know. I don't want to have her have bought it recently.
Okay. Yeah.
However,
it's with her stuff.
I did just check, and a chain drive sword is like TL 10. So
yeah, you could totally have that if you want to have it. If you want to have a chain sword, like I think it's just great that it's in your stuff and it's just going to show up at some point.
Do I need to oil this?
Yeah,
well, all the other fun stuff is just out of our technology level, which makes me kind of sad.
Yeah, it seems like it's a very eclectic choice for Blue as well.
Well, are we, it might've been a parting gift. Are we TL 12?
11.
Yeah. All of the fun stuff is like,
it's just on the edge.
Yeah. It may actually be a static blade, but she does have a sword in her stuff. It's just not something she has. And then one day we'll get a side blade.
See, that's the thing too, is I put it at 11 a little specifically because there's a lot of stuff that happens at 12, including potentially some of the things that are on your ship, since there's a lot of fun experimental things. And who knows, maybe you'll all be a part of making that jump to the next tech level.
Oh God.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw static blade into her stuff.
Sure. So yeah, you're back aboard the ship.
Makes a beeline. She'll make a beeline for the bridge where Captain Montgomery is hanging out. Captain Monty, you'll meet him, Alex. Don't worry.
Excellent.
Oh, is that the toad?
It's the toad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and he's there, and he's you've left him some pellets. He's kind of lounging on one side, and it's like,
I love that toad. My zero G toad. Ursula.
And he's kind of like also like scintillating because he's rainbow, right? So he's in that contented like, oh, my colors are just changing. He's very almost effervescent.
He's like a lava lamp. That's what he's doing in the bridge.
That's right. He's like a combination like lava lamp, mood ring, and he's definitely displaying contentment coloration right now.
Yeah, I love this toad so much. It's upsetting. Anyway, but yeah, no, I just want to check in on Ursula because we'd spoken with Xanthus briefly.
Well, he definitely said something.
Yes. Can I help you, Blue? Is there something you need?
Well, you've sort of brought up something with, I don't know how to ask you. Is Xanthus here?
Xanthus is here, though he's assisting Miles currently.
Oh, is he? What do we know about him?
Well, Xanthus seems to have a particular expertise in engineering, and so it seemed that Perhaps he could be of assistance. It seems Miles is quite concerned about fixing the reactor, which makes complete sense. We do want you to be safe.
Well, yeah. No, I guess I'm just curious. I didn't realize that there would be more AI on the ship.
I didn't either, but you had me look for files, and I did
I
find that there were some that were listed under a file entitled Xanthus, and when I went into it, it seemed that there was an AI that was on the ship that used that name, and so
What?
I activated it.
Okay, this is something I just don't have a lot of experience with, but is there a way to dig through the code to see when it was installed?
I could just ask.
I guess you could ask.
It seemed like it might be a bit invasive to dig through Xanthus's code. If you'd like me to, I can, though.
No,
Whatever you
please,
like, Blue, I'm
please
here to
ask.
help you.
Please ask. I don't really understand how AI, I don't really understand the limits of personal autonomy when it comes to AI.
Well, I suppose that depends on what you'd like the limitations to be. Personally, I always think it's nice to ask for things.
Let's just ask. As I understand it, Ursula, you don't remember anything from before we booted you, correct?
Seem to have any memory previous to Benjamin initiating my protocols.
Which is, yeah, if you can bother Xanthus at the moment, it would be good to see if they remember anything. Pronouns are going to be hard.
Would you just like to ask him yourself, or I can ask if he remembers anything?
Is he
Hold
busy?
on. Let me check. He says that he has processing power available to answer any questions if you'd like to ask.
Amazing. In that case, Xanthus?
Yes, how can I be of assistance?
To my understanding, I'm going to give a wild guess and say that 100 years ago, you might have been installed. Does that sound familiar to you?
My memory banks do not go back that far. It appears that I was in operation, checking the current date, in a time span of 10 years, from 16 to 6 years ago.
So you're roughly 10 years old.
I suppose that's one way to look at it.
Um,
That's when Dr. Owens had me installed.
Who?
Oh, Dr. Owens.
Who would that be?
Well, I suppose you would say that was my father.
Okay. Could you? Is he still around?
No, I haven't seen Dr. Owens for quite some time. It seems that there's been a gap in my operations.
Well, yes.
So I don't really know where Dr. Owens might be.
What's his first name? Their first name.
His first name is Jacob.
Jacob Owens.
Yes.
Interesting. In that case, useful. Okay, I feel bad asking. First, do you remember the AI that you're currently sharing the ship with?
Do you mean Ursula?
Yes, although I doubt she was named Ursula when she was installed.
Ursula seems to be quite new. I've never met Ursula before.
Are you the only one of you in there, I guess?
Well, that's a funny question. Yeah, yes?
I guess.
I mean, Ursula's here, and then there's me.
And no other AI.
Not that I've seen.
I wish we could figure out when Ursula.
I am predominantly, it seems, designed to work in the engineering area. Dr. Owens knew quite a bit about engineering and really was responsible for a great number of the, well, I think fantastic upgrades to that part of the ship.
Yeah, a lot of the upgrades are fascinating. I guess. Thank you. I think I think you've given us a good lead. It's just there's a lot we don't know about you or Ursula, and I'm curious to figure out what we can about you.
Well, certainly, if there's any questions I can answer, I'm quite happy to do so. It's been really fun working with Miles. It's nice to get back to working on the engines.
Yeah, he's a cool. Oh, okay, out of character. The knocking pattern that woke us up a couple nights ago.
Yes.
Weird question for Xanthus, but if I repeat that knocking pattern, do you think he'd remember it? Or does he remember?
I don't know. You should try it and ask him. I don't know.
Yeah, Blue just remembers this, and we were woken up by a pattern we thought was an alarm, but it wasn't, and I think it has to do with you. And she does, I don't know, shave and haircut. But it's whatever whatever woke us up.
It was like a bell thing, right?
It was a bang. I thought it was like a knocking tone.
It was metallic in nature. It kind of sounded like a bell, and then as you went back, as a reminder to Clara, that as you went back, you saw that there was somebody in the engineering section, and it was them using like tools in engineering.
It was just the sound.
And that
of
was
him
what was
working.
generating the sound.
Okay,
yeah, that's what you determined that it was.
Never mind. Okay, in that case, I don't need to ask if he recognizes it. Although, I guess that's our Dr. Owens. Fascinating. I'm gonna have to do a whatever future Google search on that name, or I'll make Ben do it. I guess my last, because I don't love surprises. You don't have any other named AI in your files?
No, I don't. I guess we could look for some.
Could you run a check? Just
I mean, Ursula and I could look. I like working with her too. She seems really nice.
Honestly, you both seem great, and I'm very excited to work with both of you. Could both of you? I guess you understand what your file is, how you're saved, and what your data looks like, correct?
Sure. Yes, the amount that I can be self-introspective seems like I was put together quite well. Though I certainly have, it seems some parameters, there's some edges to what I can do, and definitely Dr. Owens, made me so I would be very helpful in engineering, which is why I think Miles and I are getting on just so wonderfully.
I'm glad I mean, he's great at making friends, but it's always good to have someone to chat with in engineering. In that case, when you have the time.
That's what Dr. Owens used to say all the time. We talked a lot.
Huh. I guess, do you remember anything about Dr. Owens before I start looking on my own?
Well, I remember that he was just a brilliant engineer, had a lot of ideas on ways that I could be more useful around the ship. It looks like there's some areas of my memory banks that are damaged or blocked, but I just remember Dr. Owens being this very intelligent, caring person who was very excited about figuring out how we could get the ship to operate even better. It's maybe that's why he gave me the name he gave me.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
Xanthus. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you not up on your history? Well, Xanthus was one of the horses given to King Peleus by Poseidon.
Oh.
And then Peleus gave that horse to his son Achilles that pulled a chariot during the Trojan War. It's really about speed and power. And that's why I was so excited to be a part of the engineering here.
Huh. I love that. Well, if it doesn't take up too much processing power away from Miles, I would love to see if you or Ursula could find if there's anyone else lurking.
Sure. I'm sure we could do some more data searches.
Wonderful. Yeah, just if there's any, I don't want to take anything away from anything else that needs to get done, but I just, once you find one, I'm not sure. There's a lot we don't know, and this ship is 100 at least.
It is. I mean, the engines are a lot newer, but I think you've all figured that out.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll let you get back to whatever it is you're up to.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna pay my attention back to Miles then. If you want anything, you can just I'm totally fine if you just ask for me directly. You don't have to go through Ursula.
Brilliant. Is there a way on the ship to, like, do we have like a way to just do a computer search? Like a Google search?
Are you asking out of character? Or are you asking
Out of character, like I'm not entirely sure what the limits of our tech is.
Sure, there's like computer stations, and you can go use a terminal and you can search the net for things.
Yeah, the first thing I
like
want to do is
Google. It's whatever also you've downloaded locally.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the kind of thing that's interesting is that there's tons of local data if you tap into the station,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you kind of have this onboard encyclopedic repository of things. Because data travels the way that it does, right? It's not like here on a single planet where it's like something gets updated and everybody in the world can find it. It's the more you search for things that are local to where you are, knowingly or unknowingly, the more up to date your data tends to be. Or if it's something that's very historical, that like you'd find in an encyclopedia, that tends to be there. There's a lot of stuff that can get outdated or fall in the gaps in between.
In that case, the first thing I'm going to do is try to investigate Jacob Owens on my own with my no training in it. And then I'll probably bring Ben on. Is a name enough to check psychically?
Probably not.
Okay.
Because you're not like looking for something. I mean, knowing that now, having a name to associate with who you saw previously, maybe there's some interesting stuff you could do with that. It's a very untested part of your abilities, but
we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way.
The more
I'm just
you know.
not. I have more skills in psychic investigation than I do in regular, so I'm trying not to use it as a crutch, but it's what I'm good at.
Sure.
Let's try
absolutely.
just a simple on-ship and internet search for our friend Jacob.
Okay. Go ahead and make a computer roll plus int.
Wow. A computer roll?
Yeah, computer or investigate. I guess either one works fine because you're looking for specific data.
Just that computer isn't done here.
Or isn't? Well,
it's electronics.
Electronics computer. Wow, I'm not.
Electronics, right? With a specialization with computers. So you make an electronics roll. Sorry, they changed it in 2.0.
Yeah. I'm equally as skilled in both. So, which
Excellent.
Is not. But I have a +1 to intelligence.
Is it like you don't have it at all?
I don't have it at all.
Or is it 0?
I don't have it at all. So it's a -3.
Right. So you're -3, but +1 for your int.
I get a +1 for int. So -2. I got a 9. -2. So I got a 7, which isn't terrible.
So it's terrible, but it's an 8 or better. So you look and you don't really see anything in any of the common databases about a Dr. Jacob Owens.
All right, I'm gonna do. All right, look, I had already said I was gonna. I'm gonna change it to psychic powers on people who can't consent when I ask them immediately. is the line. Otherwise, I'm just gonna peek. I have a face, right?
You have
face
that's
and a
interesting.
name.
I don't think you have you have a name, and I don't think you saw his face. You could tell he was older. Though certainly if you wanted to go back and take another look,
All right,
you could try that.
God. All right, Miles is there, but Niles isn't there right now. Cool.
Miles is in engineering. You're alone on the bridge of the ship. Benjamin's out shopping, and Sal and Alex are on their third space arena or whatever they're having.
He liked being in engineering. I'm gonna see how close I can get without running into Miles for logistical reasons.
Sure.
And then what's applicable to this? I'm just looking.
You'd be using your psionic,
Yeah,
the same one used before, the
I
out of the
think
clairvoyance, I think it was.
I think telepathy actually has something for it's sense, but that's like for currently people in their area, right?
Right. Didn't we use like Claire?
I used clairsistence or
empathy
something.
Yeah, clairsistence, right. That's what we used before.
Okay. I just have to pull it up really fast so I know how much I'm using.
So let's use the same one. We can be consistent.
That's true.
So it makes it look like I'm not completely doing everything by the seat of my pants.
I can't spell it now. There it is. 196. Digging through things. Okay. Okay. It only costs me one. It's not the worst. Does it count if it knocked out of the thing?
Whatever you tell me your number, I believe you.
I get a +1 to
However you want it to count.
I get a +1 to psionic nonsense. I got an 8.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So it's a 9, sorry.
Right. You're probably, because I think physical distance won't matter as much. So
Yeah.
I kind of imagine this scene as you're in your stateroom, right?
Yeah.
Where you're most comfortable.
I
right?
mean, sitting
or the
on the bridge.
Right. So you're sitting on the bridge.
She sits like a bisexual, so she like does not know how to sit in a chair properly.
And and you reach back, and so you're in engineering. You're hearing that sound again, you can see it's like you're kind of coming in from behind, like you're entering engineering, and there's a gentleman who's kind of over, and it looks like he's installing machinery in, and he's like trying to get something to fit that doesn't really look like it should fit there. So he's like ding, 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 ding. He's like trying to like basically hammer out just enough of some of the decking to get this piece to wedge in.
That makes so much sense for what this ship looks like. But nothing, I mean, anything to go on. Can I get him to turn around?
I mean, you kind of have, so you're watching, then you hear him start talking. He's like, hang on a second. Xanthus, could you tell me if you're reading the same power fluctuations that I'm seeing?
Yes, I am, Father. I think that there might be a problem with the matching coils. You're really doing some cutting-edge work here.
Oh, thank you, boy. Well, we've got to get this ship so it's moving at its best speed it can. And I just want to say that it's nice to be able to have someone to talk with and work with while I'm doing it.
Well, it's nice to be thought of that way. I wish there was a way I could be more helpful than just observing.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Huh, I hadn't considered that. Maybe there's a way we can do that. And then you kind of pull out of it.
Interesting.
And he looks up when he says the last part where he's thinking about it. He kind of he turns away from the engine so you get a look at his face. And since we've dipped into Dr. Owens now, he's cast as Robert Carlyle.
Brilliant.
from Once Upon a Time and Stargate Universe and Train Spotting and all that good stuff.
Brilliant. Thank you.
But not like, creepy from Once Upon a Time. Not Rumpelstiltskin green crocodile man, but more Stargate Universe.
If he's Rumpelstiltskin, all you do need to know is his name, and then you would have
Yeah,
power over him.
we got it.
And then pretty much, yeah. But
That's
yeah.
how psychic powers
So-
work. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
That's how that works. All right.
But now you've got a
enough.
face to associate as well. And, okay.
Yeah, that's definitely enough. I feel like, I mean, that's something to go by, I assume. And like, I don't even know what I'd do, what I'd ask him. Like, dear Dr. Owens, I have your ship, sort of. Also, did you sell your ship or are you just dead? Yeah.
And if
That'll
you're not
be-
dead, no, I'm not giving it back.
If you're not dead, disregard this message.
Prank call.
God, hang up. At that point, Blue will at least ping Benjamin, who again is probably better at using the Googles. I talked to Xanthus, and I got a name, and she almost has a face. I got a name. So if we're curious about the Ursula's past, I think we have some leads.
Okay. I mean, it might help to see if we could figure out something about the weirdness of having two AI systems in one ship.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth or anything. It's just it's more of he might be able to help us figure out what any of the repairs that are needed. She's got some unique things, and it sounds like Dr. Owens was a mechanic or of some sort.
Okay. Well, it can't hurt to take a look, right? I might as well see. Maybe he said he's a doctor.
Dr.
So-
Jacob Owens, an
So,
engineering person. He may have, I mean, as maybe something from running in the circles of intelligentsia.
Maybe. I mean, let's give it a try. I'll see.
You want to use your handheld to
Yeah. I'm,
to go in?
kind of
Figure you're like out and they're like getting the last of your like specialty supplies that you've asked for and
sure.
had to hit a couple of shops.
I think it's a combination of like I'd like to try and see like use my brain a little bit and figure out like where have been the good schools that someone that might be able to do crazy advanced computer work in the last 50 years, like where they might have attended, that kind of thing. If I've ever heard the name, even like,
Yeah, go ahead and make your. Do you have anything specifically in any of the engineering categories or
no, not
academics for that?
engineering, just computers, just electronic
All right.
computers.
Well, then you just make your filthy jack of all trades roll. You zero at everything, bastard, and
I'm invincible.
and add
So useful.
and add your edu because you're seeing if you can think of a university or
yes.
program.
But can he use Jack of all trades for psionic powers?
No, I don't have them.
That would be hilarious.
Then them.
Just not a. I suppose you could if you got the powers.
Yeah.
Would
That
it?
could happen.
I mean, that's an interesting rules question, I guess. But
Yeah, probably not because it's very specialized, right?
Aw.
yeah. But
teach you.
I got 14.
Oh well, that's a fine roll.
I rolled an 11. I have
Yes.
plus 3 EDU, and it's a 0. So
Yep. Yeah, so you can think of, probably 2, maybe 3, but definitely 2 academia programs on more coreward worlds that would have that kind of engineering program, that would either turn out or attract someone of what it sounds like she's describing as the caliber
Sure.
of that. And interestingly, you remember that one of those worlds is Centris.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's our ship. Am I
That
wrong?
would make sense. So, well, I'm gonna put in just a informational request, maybe send an email to that university on Centris to be like, can I get academic curiosity, maybe a copy of Dr. Jacob Owen's thesis paper. I'm interested in his field of engineering study. Just kind of type up a generic, make an academic happy that someone's interested in something at the library.
Right. You can, I will just let you know, you can send a message. I'm all for that. But it's not like how email works here.
Oh, so no. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a while to get there.
Take a while. Yeah. It's going to take a while to get there.
Yeah.
But yes, you could certainly send a request.
I would do that. Just like putting in a request for something not at your local library, but then it'll get transferred there some year. I don't know.
Right.
Well, the other place you could follow up, which would probably yield faster results, is just that we kind of know where Ezra was holding the ship. Yeah? Am I wrong?
I mean, yeah. We know where we started that trip back.
It may be worth, if it's closer than Centris, it's probably worth checking that data as well around that area.
I was under the impression that was a fairly desolate system.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, you were over. That was a 2-week jump away in the Astrides Nebula where he had the ship parked.
I assume
there was really nothing there.
I assume it's 2 what's the word?
It's 2 hexes, right? So every hex is a week, the way travel works.
Oh,
right?
I
so
was going to say
2 hexes away.
It might be too convenient to say there's no Dr. Jacob Owens in Yuma's databases. Is there?
I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, I can certainly look that up as well. I'm
going to stupidly have to let you talk to the stream or amongst yourselves for a minute because I have to attend to something. This is the delight of playing from home, but I will be right back. So please interact. Sorry, everybody on the stream, but I'll be back very.
And just a face.
Uh-oh. He turned off his camera, so it messed up everybody's positions.
Oh no!
Oh, don't.
Utter chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Bill now.
Clara's now Bill. Yeah, it's exciting.
Grab the zoom windows now, which is nice.
Yeah, I can drag
that.
them around. I don't.
No, I am. Look at me. I am Bill now.
Wee. Let's see if I.
Yeah. What order equates to where we're sitting?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in charge now.
I'm just gonna keep sliding it around until we get. Well, if that. No.
Just watching them walk across the street.
Oh, okay. Bill's in the right spot.
Yes. Okay.
None of the rest of us are.
Okay. This is like one of those puzzles where there's only the one empty hole and you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like how my red hair's growing out.
Yeah, it's looking pretty long.
Yeah, I know. I like my shirt.
Oh.
There we go. Getting closer.
Almost.
Nope.
This is great.
Nope.
It's fine. I can be Dave. Oh.
I think I got it. Exciting times.
Yes.
Look at that.
Okay, you got it.
Got him.
Well done.
Amazing.
And then he's going to come back and turn it on. It's going to get all jacked up again. We'll see.
That is. Hilariously entertaining for musical
Well,
ears.
story-wise, when Sal gets up to leave, I think Alex would probably offer, like, do you need a hand with anything? Like, you're getting up to go. I don't know how that's going to go over, but he would just hang out until you leave and then ask if you wanted a hand with something, whatever it is you're off to do.
Oh, I think I got it. I'm good.
I'm sure you do. All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow at the ship then.
Sounds good. I do want to, like, because we have our comms, check in with Blue, and just say, hey, I remember you mentioned that you had some credits laying about. Should we upgrade the astrogation system, like, before we head out?
We talk about whether or not Alex could astrogate.
Mm-hmm.
We still need a system regardless, right? We can't.
Yeah,
just-
like, our system is still, it works-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't
We
want to have to
established-
use a protractor and a compass to
Yeah.
astrograde.
It's real bad, but
yeah.
when we were in the place where they sell those things,
I say it's worth just spending the money now and then taking it out of the run when we get back.
that's what I was thinking. I mean, I've got some retirement credits I could throw at it if somebody else wants to pitch in. I'd rather have the ship know where it's going, I think.
Let's split that amongst ourselves then. I think that's the best.
Well,
That might be the best course of action.
I don't recall what the price was. Was it like 75 grand, something like that?
It's 80.
72.
72.
It was 80, but you got the 10%. It was 80, but you got the 10% diplomat discount.
Negotiating skills.
Forgot
That's
about
right. I
that.
forgot. For the ambassador.
If everyone's down to go in on it, we can just split it split it 4 or 5 ways.
Well, I mean, like, it's a little presumptuous to include Alex in the split since he's not even like an actual investor yet.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, Sal has no problem hitting him up for money for it, but that's up to you guys.
I mean, he already bought drinks. In that case, 4 ways. It's 4 ways. I can still afford it, so we're good.
Yeah, I mean, I could pitch in 18 grand. That's fine.
We just strong arm Miles into doing it too.
Well, I mean, like,
Oh, I'm sure Miles will chip in.
Miles has been pretty consistent about supporting the idea of, like, yeah, let's actually, like, make this ship better. I
Cool.
mean,
In that
his
case-
primary concern is the fact that we might all get radiation sickness, but
Yeah, he's working
know.
on. Yeah.
But accidentally jumping into the wrong thing would probably be not great
yeah,
either.
that-
So
yeah.
I
An
mean,
outdated library of astronomical things is bad to me, you know.
and the
You
expensive
make a
one
jump, you're like, "Oops,
auto
we missed."
updates too.
Hmm?
The expensive
Yeah.
one that we're gonna get, it does the like self updates, so then we won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's just an upfront cost. I was gonna say if we don't fix the radiation leak or the astrogation, then we'll die faster, which is nice. You know, if we get stuck somewhere.
I got that going for me, so that's something.
That's something.
Gunga, gulunga, gunga.
Wonderful. And I think Blue will let Sal know a little bit about having chatted with Xanthus, but not like, I mean, if it interests her.
Oh sure, yeah, she's
Yeah.
curious. She's like, "What's he like?"
So she'll have passed the information on to. Also, I think I'm not saying that we might have a system with daddy issues, but it is a possibility later. Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
He does refer to Owens as father.
Ooh, creepy. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's personality.
It can't. It's information. It can't hurt.
So the quick question about the astrogation upgrade, is it like back in the 80s and the 90s, like buying a new tape deck for your car and you could just pull out the old one and put in the new one? Or is it like...
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly anybody with a mechanic skill could do it. They'll come out and install it for you tomorrow if you want, or they'll just. I mean, if you like don't want anybody on your ship, but you've already had. They came out and looked at the drive, right? It's not a very lengthy process. It's like about an hour.
No,
They're happy to come out and do it. For you,
I mean,
Ambassador.
I have the mechanic skill, but I don't need to do it. So
Yeah.
whatever you guys
We'll get
want.
the extended warranty.
Yeah,
If
we're
we
paying
let
them
them
the
install it.
72,000 credits. They could install it.
Sure.
They
Oh
can
yeah.
install it. Except
Maybe put
not
the
touch my shit.
maybe put the cover cloth over the frog.
What's wrong? What's wrong with Captain Monty?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you don't want somebody getting a little light fingered with your pet.
All right.
Right? You've all heard stories. You get somebody comes to your house to do some work, and next thing you know, family silver's gone, and
Blue and Monty look offended, but like she takes the tank to her quarters. Just an offended frog. Sorry, I love the judgmental frog. But yeah, no. we can
Okay,
have
great.
them
So
installed later.
they'll come over. They'll take the order. They'll come out tomorrow. They give you a morning but late morning time to not be inconvenient to the ambassador. It's like about an hour for them to install a new astrogation system. It's fully updated with all the most recent charts that they have here at the station. The system's designed to not only kind of auto update when it gets to new locations like stations and things, but also if you come across new anomalies and everything, it just automatically puts it into its database. So
Yay.
it handles a lot of the boring entry that would have to occur.
that's fantastic.
I'm sure Alex will find it to be like lovely and convenient in terms of updating his astrogation charts. Okay, if there's anything else, I would assume at 8:30 someone shows up and is like, you hear like there's a you can hear the limo coming up and docking, and there's kind of I guess there's a chime at the entrance door. I admittedly have not really thought through what happens when someone comes visiting to the ship.
Fair. I didn't either.
Is it like the
Yeah,
is it
but
like
yeah, so there's like a
bosun whistle? Like
yeah, there's like a docking chime. Actually, this is what happens. So there's like a the ship comes up, you can see it, and then you hear like
It appears that we have a visitor.
Do you need
that's-
a sock for the turret?
Huh?
Do you need a sock for your turret?
Oh no. I'm gonna show her the gun closet. You gotta impress a lady.
Perfect.
Don't worry, Ursula, that's for me. I'll get it.
Oh, all right.
And she's wearing like fancy, kind of like cozy pajama bottoms and like black, of course, obviously everything, barefoot. And then like not silk, linen, kimono robe that's just open and nothing underneath.
Mhm.
Power move. So that's how she answers the ship door.
Right. So the tube has come by and it's the snake's out and rigid. So she walks down and she's a little, like the top of the tunnel tube is like pretty close to her head, and it opens. She's like, "Oh, hi. Hi." And she's dressed like in, I would say, like undoubtedly the nicest stuff she has. And in fact, it looks like the top that she has is new. It has that kind of really crisp, just bought thing. And she's wearing brown leather trousers, and then kind of like a thick sateen top, right? So it's not like flimsy loose, but it's like very nice. And she's obviously spent some time like getting clean. And I think that's a common thing from miners where they never really feel like they're clean. So there's even that like slight little like ruddiness of like she's spent extra time washing her face
A little too much
to
exfoliation.
the point where it's like, yeah. So she's like freshly exfoliated.
Feel
Um,
free
so-
to ask
oh,
her name at
oh.
any point.
If your friend brought angry tardigrades onto our ship, I'm gonna be real mad.
Oh, I forgot about this. Can we? I want to say, like, we all had. Did we have dinner together? All,
Yeah,
like, the
let's
rest of us?
let's do that before she
Oh, yeah.
shows up. Everybody could grab dinner beforehand. Sorry, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I just want to make this very clear. You're going to keep her out of the bridge, correct?
Oh yeah, she's not going in the bridge.
Okay. It needs to not have that on it, whatever it is. You know,
Never in the bridge. You got it.
essence of people. That sort
Essence
of thing.
people. Okay. All right.
Just nothing in the bridge. The bridge is a sacred place.
Like the gun turret.
Like the gun turret. Speaking of, again, not the gun turret, correct?
No.
Just figuring logistics out. I just feel like she's a very tall person.
Logistics aside, yeah, the gun closet is much more impressive. Also, there's a bed in there.
Yes, the gun closet. Like, it takes Blue a second to realize that the stateroom you're referring to is the gun closet. Yeah, no, yeah.
The master bedroom on the
Master bedroom on your ship. Yeah, no, okay. Look, I hate to be that person. It's just like, there are a lot of people, and you're not always the most savory person, and who knows what this person is like. And so I just don't want us getting murdered in our sleep.
I'm not gonna let anyone murder you.
Okay.
I wasn't
mean,
really
that's-
worried about that, but now I'm worried about that. All right. Well, have a good night. And then, like, I walk off, and you hear like the door close, and you hear like furniture scooching across the metal deck.
We're all paranoid in our own ways. It's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna. Blue will go back to her stateroom with Monty, and we're gonna see if Ursula knows how to play chess or something.
Somewhere
Oh,
out of
certainly, I have.
earshot of the gun closet, probably.
Yeah.
I'm
Right,
sleeping in the
your
back
stateroom's
suit.
not close to the gun closet, right?
Yes, of course, I'd be delighted to. I have several entertainment programs and games programs. Chess
Awesome.
seems like something that would be quite fun to do.
Cool. I will play chess against the computer for like while we can. My friends
Do you
say,
imagine that you're any good at it?
No. I mean,
Right.
So
I would.
if
Here's what.
yeah.
Good. Go
If
ahead.
the crew played poker, it would be very hard for me as a player not to be like, can I look? But chess against AI, I don't think Blue is terribly good at it. She does know how to play. She does know how to play okay, but she's not like a chess master or anything by any means.
Yeah, I tend to think that you're like, oh, this will be chess, will be great, and you get a few moves in, and you realize, oh, I can't just find out what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
You kind of like it dawns on you that like your usual edge in games is, oh, that's not applicable here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would have been something that like at the Institute, I think that she would be very used. I feel like, if I may write this in, it's a common game amongst scions to play chess and poker and shit against each other because it's different stakes or it's a different game.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that and it's also probably training you how to, look past social, like social masks that people are wearing, or an understanding like, oh, what is a person's tell? And then you can actually confirm what their tell is if you have that ability. So yeah, I could see that a lot of those games of skill, are part of the training program. Makes total sense. I love that.
Yeah. However, she has not played against a human in a very long, a non-human ever. So she's like, okay, cool. Fuck. Like, I thought I was good at this.
Yeah, right. And you're like suddenly like, I understand all the moves, but this is a lot harder
Yeah,
than it usually is. Yeah.
Blue plans on spending the rest of the evening getting her ass kicked by Ursula.
And so, okay, so Sal, so we'll go back to Now that ground rules apparently have been helpfully set by your crew mates.
roommates.
Never on the bridge. You got it.
Never yet. Yeah.
No
On the
people on
bridge,
the
on the
bridge.
gun turn. So yeah, she's like, oh, wow, hi. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming. And she'll escort her. She'll kind of give her a brief-ish tour of the trip, of the ship. Like, this is that way. This is that way. Pretty much show her
Right.
directly to the.
She's looking. This is probably like the nicest ship she's been in. You can tell by her face that like this is. She's like, wow, like kind of really taking it in and being really impressed that you have a ship like this while also trying to kind of be cool about it. And how tall is Sal, by the way?
Sal is like, she's not small, but she's also not like super tall either. She's like 5'8".
Right. Yeah. So this, and commonly you're, amongst the tallest, women in the room, and you're like, oh, that's it's almost an interesting, could potentially be an interesting experience that you don't normally get.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because she's definitely she's following you around, but she's maintaining she's kind of doing this balance between, I'm really impressed and I kind of can't believe that I get asked here, but I want to make a good impression, and I'm slightly awkward because being inside of ships is a little more difficult just because of her height.
That's totally fair. So I'll offer her a drink in the what's our, like,
in the lounge
area? The lounge.
Yeah, the galley lounge area. She's like, whoa, wow, this place is incredible.
I know, right? It's pretty cool.
And she goes over and she kind of runs a hand along one of the like lounge sofas and everything. She's like, oh, this is real leather.
Yeah. The ship came this way. We didn't even have to upgrade it or anything. Do you want to see my quarters? They're even cooler than this.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Yeah, sure. Yes. I would like to see your quarters.
Awesome. Sal is not very talkative. She's like, this lady's hot. I brought her here to hang out with me, so let's go. And she's like stocked.
Oh, yeah.
It basically looks like John Wick's bedroom, but on a spaceship. But also she's like stocked it with like snacks and water, and like, like a face wipe and like whatever she thinks her lady friend might need. It's like nicely laid out, like, please help yourself.
So how long are you happy for her to be there? Is she okay if she's there in the morning?
Yeah, I think she could stay the night. She's got to ship out in the morning anyway, so
she does. She'll have to leave
last
it.
Night on the station memorable.
Okay, it's wonderful and athletic.
Perfect.
And she's strong. So I think there's some moment where when you get in there and, before the camera goes away, since we're, I'm sure a PG-13 WB show or whatever, where she like, literally like picks you up and like gives you this embrace and this kiss and then like throws you back on the bed.
That was very
like
pleased.
with this exuberance. Yeah. So morning rolls around. Alex, I'm sure you're do anything you need to take care of before you head to the ship?
Well, I don't think so. He's just like packing up all of his equipment. I mean, not like he had gotten unpacked, really. He just, like takes out a clean version of another protect suit. This, I imagine it's also like, it doesn't wrinkle, like you just take it out and it sort of like straightens itself out.
Yeah, I could see that.
Future
no ironing
fabrics.
needed. Like,
yeah,
future fabrics, space age material.
The thing I always thought was the coolest was when Marty McFly's clothes could dry themselves out. Like
Yeah.
growing up in Seattle, that was some cool ass technology.
Oh, and living in this area now? Absolutely. That would be amazing.
But yeah, I think, he just has like, I'm picturing like a couple big sort of shipping crates. Like like what they ship sound equipment in, like that, those kind of like concert crate kind of thing.
Right. There's like hard sided.
Yeah.
case.
Yeah. Do we have like hover carts? Is that a thing?
There are, yes. HoverTech, GTech
Yeah.
is actually.
So
is
I
definitely
get
there,
like
so
a
you
little
can-
like hover push cart thing, and I'm probably like half an hour early to meeting Benjamin, but
So what time
and
do you
he's just
think
gonna
you get
call
there?
me anyway. So I'm like, I've like pushed all this stuff out to the like a diner. And, like when you're trying to travel and you like put your bags next to the table and you gotta get
Mhm.
Or like every parent that's taken a stroller somewhere.
yes, yeah,
And you're like, I don't know where this goes now. I don't.
yeah. But
Yeah, I
like,
think if you wanna
each of
go to
these
a-
cases is big
Yeah.
enough to have a body inside. That's that. I mean, they probably don't, but
They could.
Right. And I'm assuming probably one of them has your vac suit.
yeah,
The other one is all your equipment and whatever else. But yeah.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
I
they're
have like
large.
several different like scientific kits and what was it? Yeah, just scientific equipment in general. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd imagine you've got 2 or 3 of these, you're putting them on a ship, you're shipping your stuff. You've got a grab sled that you've got them on. You can, near where the limousines are, where you can go out to the ship, because you can get one there. There's the Quick Getaway Diner, which is very cheekily named and is like trying to be all like, kind of edgy and retro.
yeah.
Up on the top level of the station. And you can get a breakfast there.
Yeah. So I think he's just hanging out there waiting for the call. Probably, checking, reading if any later, if any like scientific journals have been published and come through, because you never know when something's going to get delivered way out here. So, just in case somebody discovered aliens in the last week.
That would kind of ruin this whole adventure. Somebody's like,
right.
Oh,
Hey, big
well,
news.
And hey, thanks for playing.
cat's out of the bag. They're out there. Here they
There
are.
it is.
The Vulcans made contact. We're
Yeah. Oh. So Benjamin and Blue, do you like is there a common like breakfast you sit and
I think Blue's gonna wait for the astrogation installation, but I think if Alex is waiting for the call, that is waiting for Ben to pick him up, then she doesn't have to answer the door.
Oh yeah. Well, like I'm probably didn't sleep because I probably was super freaked out about the idea of like there's a person on the ship that might kill us. Like,
yeah. Sal didn't either, probably.
yeah, that didn't land like it landed in
Oh,
my head
no.
as like there is an assassin on our ship. So I probably
There
spent the night like
is.
in the corner of my room in a vac suit with a stunner.
Oh, no.
Like
I think at some point Blue tried to comfort you.
Not a
It was
go.
like, if anything, Sal will kill us first.
well so like it's probably like surprisingly not long after Alex gets to the diner, right? Like he knows he's early, but like the call is also early. Just to be like good morning, and it's that like super gravelly like I haven't slept all night and like good morning.
Well, hey, Ben.
Yeah. Sorry. Hadn't talked to anybody yet this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I will be over to meet you, and we can get you on out here in just a little while.
Yep. I'm just at the
maybe-
quick getaway, so whenever it's convenient.
Fantastic. Maybe order
right?
me a
And
coffee.
Ben, Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know that he can get a limo there, but if you want to pick him up, sorry, didn't mean to jump on there, but yeah.
Oh yeah, well I'd still
However you wanna do
go
it.
because that way I
Sure.
get to do the cool like, yeah, look at how successful I am. This is our shit. Like the Captain Kirk like hour-long montage of looking at the ship as we fly out to it. So like, yeah.
I just want the
Okay,
Galaxy
perfect.
Quest like scraping the side of it on the way out.
Yup.
Sorry, I was putting logistics in. That's my bad. I apologize.
No.
Okay.
Good. So yeah, like I'd probably do that. I'd after I'd make that call, I probably talk to Ursula about like making sure that like there's at least some oatmeal and some various fruit laid out or something in the lounge for everybody.
Well, it's certainly available in the stores. I don't have a way to do that, but I guess I could start trying to figure out how to help you in that way, Benjamin.
Like if you could just like make a quick list of which bins I should get everything from so I can lay it out quickly before I go. Like that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, of course. I can certainly do that. That's not a problem at all, Benjamin.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see. I'm sure there's got to be like the automated kitchen arm that we could have installed at some point.
I mean, there are AI robotics and things, right? If at some point you wanted to actually have like a steward bot on the ship, you could. But yes, currently there's no way for Ursula to actually physically manipulate that.
Right. But yeah, just to speed up the process, so I'm not like that person that isn't really familiar with the kitchen yet, and like when you have a guest over and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll help make breakfast," and then they're just rampaging through all of your cupboards to be like, "Where do you keep a spatula?" And you're like, "It's right there." It's okay.
Right.
Of course, I'm happy to tell you where everything's inventoried. I have a complete listing of that. It'd be my pleasure to help.
So I would, I'd lay out, sort of a continental breakfast kind of a deal, and then hit the road.
So I think what would be a good scene is you're making your way and you've called for the limousine, right? Blue, I'm guessing you're still in your room. You're just like uninterested in seeing anybody until.
No, I would like to have breakfast at some point.
Okay. Yeah, you can come out while Benjamin. Maybe a good thing is you're coming out while Benjamin is getting things set up. Like he's laying out like breakfast stuff already. How nice.
How wonderful. Convenient for me. But yeah, Blue has helped herself to coffee and something, I don't know, fruit, but is just hunkered down in the galley, like doing the morning thing. She's not really a morning person.
Like,
You don't know that she's a awake person, but she's not a morning person for sure.
okay, I was gonna ask like how physically observant is Blue?
Pretty observant.
Okay, I mean, like you might notice that Benjamin has like done a little bit of makeup to
That's just what
not
people
look
look like.
super sleepy, right?
Since super sleepy is Blue's default, she's sort of like, all right, I guess you've joined me. Cool.
Yeah.
Like she does that's not something that would bother her. If you were acting weird, that would bother her.
No, I mean not particularly weird, just like clearly doesn't want to look like he was up all night to go pick up Alex and be like, yeah, you don't show weakness.
Don't show weakness. Sure. But yeah, your TV personality wearing makeup wouldn't bother her.
So I think, Dave, when you're coming up, because you're gonna have to go back up to the upper deck to then get to where you exit out, I think is the time when probably your guest needs to get going, because I just like the idea of her.
We're on the limo together, like.
Yes, that seems like a very nice thing.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, Sal does manage to get her name at some point throughout the
Probably good.
or at least her nickname, because Like, she used to know what she likes to be called.
Sure. She'll let you know that when you ask at some point, and I like the idea that that's the context in which you're asking. What do you like to be called? She lets you know that her name is Morrigan.
Morrigan. Oh my god. It just keeps getting better. Perfect. Do I have like a way to contact her again?
Sure, she'll give you her all of her information, including where she is down on Rust Rise in the colony, and says, if you're around, my next off-planet rotation is in a month.
I'll make sure I remember that.
But you please feel free to contact me whenever you want.
I will. Help yourself to some pastries before you go. Don't forget to hydrate.
Oh, I'll hydrate. I need it. And as kind of like Benjamin, you're like, okay, it's time to get out of here. And
yeah.
The person that you've been hiding from like comes down and like gets a water and a pastry, and it's like and you like, I think you're just getting off the phone and getting the limo.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I'll just get a ride back with you. That's great.
Good morning. Yes, of course, that would be fine. Yeah, it should be like 5 minutes or so. It just takes a couple of minutes for them. Like, you could track it on your comm, like, it shows you where it is, and a little map thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right, sure.
But-
sounds like you totally got that. I'm just gonna hydrate, and wow, you guys have some fresh fruit. That's amazing. Can I get one of these?
Sure.
Do you mind if I?
Yeah, of course, please. We just like to put out a little spread in the morning to kind of get everybody off to the right start.
Wow, that's great. And as she kind of, starts walking to where the entrance is, you just kind of hear under her breath, she's like, "Best night ever."
Like, the whole time, Benjamin just stays front facing. So like, if she walks by, it's just
Right, during the whole interaction, there's this pivot that constantly happens.
And like, he slowly backs up towards the wall by the door to be like, yeah, okay. Well, just up over here is I'm gonna wait by the airlock. You know how those limo drivers don't like to wait. Yeah. And then he kind of like slides out the door and along the wall.
Right. I think it's the most uncomfortable limo ride ever. There's only two of you in there, and you're sitting at whatever
100%.
opposite side of the limo.
Yeah, just looking at each other, just straight across.
Right. She definitely seems mentally preoccupied, so at least she's not trying to have a conversation with you on the 5 minutes it takes to get to the station.
Like, I think Benjamin is totally that awkward person that's afraid to, like, if you've ever sat next to a person that's terrified to fly on an airliner, and then they just word vomit at you for the whole flight until you're finally like, I'm gonna watch the movie now, please leave me alone. Like, so like the whole time he's just like, yeah, so I haven't been out here long. Like, he's just laying out like just a whole, like, every time he's ever been in a limo, he's telling stories like, oh yeah, this one time I was on in a limo with a bunch of friends, and then I got really drunk, and I remembered watching some of those old 2D movies where they get out the sunroof and like they're excited, and then one of my friends was like, you can't do that, it's space, idiot. I was really drunk. It was just a good time. Like, yeah.
Yeah, she legally
Like, I
can't
think as you-
assassinate you if you keep talking.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's how that
It's
works.
the-
And I
it's
think
it's the Killabuster
literally
rule.
at some point while you're the Killabuster. That's not funny. I've heard that's what you have to say. By the way, I've read that in the stream. That but Blue gave you the high five, so it counts.
The only time
so
I'll
I think
approve that pun. That was so good.
It's official.
And I think Benjamin, as you're kind of rattling on like that, at some point, like literally Morgan's all
yeah.
right, and sends a very nice thank you to Sal, and hopes that she gets to see you.
Supposed to wait 3
whenever you're
days.
back.
Nah.
This is space. You
so
don't
you-
know how long it's gonna be.
That is so
Yeah,
true.
you don't know. So you arrive, Alex. You see Benjamin come like in the entryway, and you also notice, like, because she's very difficult to miss, that extremely tall built woman.
The one
that
from
you
the
saw
bar
at the
last
Underbelly.
night, right?
Yeah, the one from the bar last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got off the limousine with Benjamin.
Okay, kind of. I think what he does, he's not really reacting to her like that's. They didn't introduce her as part of the crew, and that's sort of a non-variable. But Alex does the thing where he like sees Benjamin, is like, awesome, let's go, but then like only gets a quarter out of his seat before he like sits back with his coffee to look chill. Like, be cool. Be cool. It's fine. We can leave whenever. I don't care.
Did you
It's fine.
remember to order Benjamin coffee?
Oh, did he say order him coffee? I missed
Yeah.
that. Oh, then yes, Alex would have not missed
Okay.
that. So
Got it.
probably
So
like
I-
a
like-
carafe.
It probably turns into like Morgan starts walking like down the hall, and I'm just like, bye. It's nice to talk to you. Have a good day.
There's kind of that over the shoulder
Yeah,
like wave,
yeah.
like I've acknowledged that you're speaking, and I'm the recipient of that noise, and I'm leaving now.
And like only when she gets around the curvature of the station does he then turn and go into the diner. And I probably like stumble over to the table and just grab up the coffee, and I'm like, yeah, hey, good to see you. Doesn't even do the temperature check, right? Like the safety move with coffee. He's just
Yeah.
like, yeah. Like the actor that there's no actual coffee in the cup, and they just like grab it and they're like, oh, I'm gonna drink a whole coffee. Like that. But then it's okay. Yeah. You ready to hit the
Yep, this
you've
is-
got some stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of survey equipment, and I travel with my own vac suit. I hope that's not awkward. I was, but Sal said that there are like individual rooms. Is that
Oh, absolutely. We've got space. You'll have
wow?
plenty of room for your gear and yourself.
Great. Okay, that's I was expecting a bunk situation, so this is even better.
Yeah. I honestly I was surprised at the quality of the place when we first moved in. It was a nice surprise.
Great.
Especially, I don't know if you've ever spent time on a used ship lot. They always, you run the risk of like hey, look, it's a mechanically sound ship, and somebody decided that the whole inside has to be, neon cheetah print.
Oh, I haven't come across that. I either had a government issued ship, or I've just been in university for a while, and
Oh, yeah.
I never really went out to purchase one. So I am now aware that could be an issue.
It's problematic, especially when you get somebody that tries to mix. So it's like neon cheetah print and then like pastel giraffe.
Oh, like a
like-
compromise of the worst order.
Yeah, just stick to one animal if you're gonna go with animal.
Noted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that's good advice. Like,
Yeah. That sounds right.
and then I think only at that point does Benjamin realize he's still just rambling
Mhm.
because it's just
Alex
like,
is nodding,
Yeah.
and
and then he kind of just chills it. He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, if you're ready to go, let's." And like he'd throw a couple of credits on the table for coffee tip, and then we can hit
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah, great. Just push the cart out and ready to go.
Great. So you guys will take the limo back. Alex is on the ship. There's a choice of several staterooms. They all kind of tend to be middle of the ship. There's like 5 berths on kind of each side. of
No
the
window
central
rooms.
area. They're all window rooms. Actually.
Oh, they are. Oh, okay.
Just that there's some that are more towards the front and some more towards the back.
Oh, amidships.
Blue,
Okay.
blue amidship. Sorry, yeah. Blue has one that's at the front, closest to the bridge. So does Benjamin, as I recall, on the other side of the hallway. And he actually has 2 adjoining staterooms because he's using one of them for his sound equipment. And Sal has taken the master suite, which he has lovingly called the gun closet.
Yeah.
And then the same side is where Blue is at closest to the engines is where Miles has.
Okay, so no one's next door to Blue?
No.
No one's next door to Blue.
Okay, that's where I'm going.
Okay.
Nice.
She's
Gonna get murdered.
definitely at least part alien.
I can kill you with my brain.
I know.
That would prove his point.
Well, you
That is true.
you don't know, but you suspect something's up with this
Something's up.
non-blinking person.
There's
Um,
that means I'm gonna have to introduce you to Monty as well.
So in a little bit after that is when the technician shows up. Take about an hour. They install the navigation system. It is the brand newest, top of the line, commercially available astrogation system.
Oh, fantastic. I've only read the trades about that. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Mechanical question.
Mhm.
Does that eliminate our -1 to astrogation?
Yes. So for the ship quirk, we can go ahead and remove.
That's good because
the,
my astrogate's only 0. So
anti-astrogation.
I mean,
now
it's
that'll
better
just
than
be
not having it.
even on. Yes. Yeah. So now you'll get, no negative modifier to your astrogation roll. Congratulations on upgrading the ship. Woohoo!
Finally, it took us 3 games. But yeah, and after the guy leaves, Monty will be returned to his rightful place as the captain on the bridge.
Mm.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
And I think there's a moment where you're getting settled, Alex. You're putting stuff in, and you've kind of overseen the installation of the astrogation thing, and it's all good. Guy's done a great job. You fire it up. It works well. I just think there's this moment where you're getting settled, and you kind of like pass Blue as she's coming out, and she's got like a terrarium.
Yep.
With some kind of amphibian creature in it.
Oh, well, who's this?
Oh, this is Montgomery. He is a toad. And you look at this frog that is rainbow and weirdly intelligent, weirdly expressive.
I mean, that's not an Earth species of toad, is it?
Technically, yes. He is a modified toad. I
Fascinating.
guess he's more of a frog. It's complicated. He does like water. Just a warning, don't lick him.
Well, now I want to.
Okay. It's just Monty is modified in a way that he is not particularly, I don't know if he's recreational, but he is hallucinogenic, I think.
Oh.
I don't know do not lick Monty.
I will not. I'm just expressing I wasn't going to before, but you just said not to.
As you're looking at Monty, because she's talking about him, like you can swear you see Monty going like,
he's like following the conversation.
Yeah, and like you get this like strange impression. He's like he's cool with it if you want, like it's fine. He's like,
oh, okay.
Monty is at least sentient enough that he can consent to being.
Yeah, if Monty can consent and is down, then we may have to explore that later.
I mean, Blue will tell you for like, I don't know what happens if you lick Monty, but people spend a lot of money to own toads they can lick. So I don't lick Monty. I don't know.
I mean, I respect your boundaries. That's completely fine. Are you taking him somewhere or?
Oh, he lives on the bridge. He's the captain. And like Blue starts walking down the bridge.
It's like fucking hypno toad.
Yeah. And I think like Alex just like gets his device out and is like opened a file. I mean, he'll have a file on everyone on the ship, just like his own personal notes of like who's who and what they're about and everything. The file on Blue is going to be a little bit more extensive.
It's very like Pudge controls the weather. Like it's just very important to her that Monty feels like the captain.
Right.
I think technically Miles is on but yeah, she will. Miles is on the lease, but Monty is the captain, or he likes to think he is.
And okay, who orders destinations and let's say like a combat situation? Who's in charge?
I assume in combat that'll be Sal. We haven't really tried.
Okay.
As far as who, I guess we cooperate with Ursula, and I guess later we'll have to talk to Xanthus about it. But in general, if you're going to be here, you might as well know that we mostly work with the AI. And like Blue sort of realizes that what she's saying sounds weird.
Well, I've worked with an AI before. What model is it?
Funny story.
Oh, you can just call me Ursula. Will you be joining us on the trip?
I hope so, Ursula. Thank you. It's nice. Is this just coming through like the hall speakers?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still like talking outside Blue's door, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like half bridge, half door.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you have a code base history or?
Well, I've only been recently activated. I'm sure you could talk with Benjamin about the protocols that were used. It seems everyone's very concerned with my past, but I'm just excited to be working with everyone, and I have the crew's safety as my top concern, and I'm so glad that Benjamin has mine as well. Do you know Benjamin?
I do, actually. Yeah, Benjamin is who introduced me to the crew, and I saw his ad about seeking investors, and I thought maybe I could help. So I'm here to, and he's like speaking a little bit too loud, like as if Ursula might not hear him. He's not like nervous, he's just a little awkward.
Yeah.
It takes some getting.
Is there a designation you prefer that I use for you?
Oh, no, Alex is fine. Yeah.
Oh, Alex. Oh, all right then. Well, welcome aboard, Alex. If there's anything you need, please just let me know.
I will. Thank you. I just, Blue, is it okay if I go with you to, I just want to see the astrogation station. You were saying you didn't necessarily have an astrogator, and this might be something I can help with.
You can look. Yeah, sure. Like the look on Blue's face is very much like no new friends, but sure. And like she'll let you into the bridge, which like you could have opened the door yourself. It's the whole thing.
And what's your primary station on the bridge?
I like to pilot. Actually, out of character, do you have a piloting score that's better than mine?
Who, me?
Doesn't matter. What do you want to do? You don't care what his piloting skill is.
That's true. I'll still take it. I'll boost it later.
Meta schmeta. What do you want to do?
Good point. Yeah, I like to pilot. I would enjoy continuing to do so. And she gives you a very hard look.
I mean, is there something that would stop you from?
No, not that I could imagine. However, we did get a new astrogation, and I am not as familiar with that part of the process.
Well, that's the best part of the trip. The math.
You're a weird person, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm the weird one. That's correct.
And Blue puts Monty in like what would be like, I guess if I'm trying to just figure out how the bridge is like laid out, but like Monty either sits on like what would be the like dash, or he sits in the captain's chair.
Right. The bridge is actually like this really like broad horizontal affair at the very front of the ship, and it has like 4 stations, but they're all kind of equally aligned, right? So it's a very shallow bridge, but wide, because it's the front of the like manta ray type configuration. And there's like a piloting chair, and then next to that is like the navigator's chair. So
Actually,
you
Monty
could
has
definitely
been
put him in
sitting-
between the two.
Monty's tank has been sitting in the navigator's chair, and so she like puts it back there. But and you can see on at the station where she's been, where the pilot's chair is, there is like a little soul, those little like plastic like plants that wiggle and stuff. I can't hear you.
Right, like a bobblehead plant.
Yeah, like one of those bobblehead plants. There's a couple of those on the station, as well as like the weighted blanket and like a book or something. Things that you would totally have on a long trip if you weren't paying attention.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, one, Alex unfailingly addresses Monty as captain, like, oh, the captain.
Yes.
That's like every time he goes by, captain. And I think rather than asking you to move, Monty, he just pulls the console up to like standing station height. I assume they're adjustable to people who want a standing desk. And just, like pulls up the, astrogation processes and just does a little, what do you call it? The,
Yeah, actually, because of the way the ship's configured, like there isn't a standing desk option. You have to sit in the chair.
Oh, I see.
Astrogation things there because it's older, right?
Would you
It's like
me to
in
move
a
him?
modern ship, you'd be like, yeah, of course, absolutely, everything's configurable and goes up and everything. But like they basically had to come in and like, oh, I guess we're installing this here in this desk,
right,
like, type setting.
So then instead, Alex spends a moment looking for the release to like
right
Try to
have
lift
the
it.
desk.
And I think, Alex, this is the moment when you realize like this ship is old.
Yeah.
Right. No one's told you this before now. And you're like, oh, it's pretty swanky inside, but like this is the old construction.
Yeah. Like having a 50-year-old Ferrari.
It's also been
It's
established
still a
that
Ferrari. but-
the bridge is a mess in that like I think all the parts are from different like have been cobbled together as well.
Yeah, and kind of the more that you look at it, you're like, oh boy, there's a lot of hodgepodge, especially the pilot station, and it's definitely seen a series of modifications over what appears to be decades of service.
Okay, so Alex turns to Monty and is addressing Monty directly. Says, Captain, I thought this might be adjustable, but it looks like I may actually need the chair. Is there an option? Like, what should I do? And he's just staring at Monty, waiting for an answer.
He's a frog.
Well, is it okay if I move him to a different seat?
Blue will just pick him up and put him in like in an area where he's not going to be in the way.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want, you could put him like up on the dash, basically, right to the right of where the pilot is, like between the two of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll just move him.
So he can look out the windshield.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
that's why he likes the bridge.
Yep.
Right.
Stick his head out the window.
Yeah, the sentience of Monty cannot speak. That's absurd.
I've seen strange things in my travels. It wouldn't be the strangest.
Talking frogs.
I think at this point, I'll take over Miles a little bit. Miles will come onto the bridge and looks like he hasn't slept a lot, you know, maybe a little more than Benjamin. But he looks pretty tired, and he says, "Hey, I've got the engines going as best as I can. We haven't been able to track down exactly what the problem is, but it's nothing that's consistent, right? It's not happening all the time. I don't even know if it's going to happen. I haven't seen anything like this power plant or engine system before."
There's a problem
Who's
with
this?
the power plant?
And he's like, "Who's this?" and points at Alex.
This is Alex. He is an intern. He's sort of here on a trial run as our he has ship shares. The only explanation Blue could come up with for why he's on the damn ship. He has money.
He's on a trial run as the money.
Yes. About what Blue can convey.
It is kind of like an intern.
Yeah, he's an
We
intern.
get him
not
to come
getting
work
paid.
for us, and he has to pay for the privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he seems to know his way around an astrogation, and we did replace it, so it seems appropriate. I think you guys might get along. He's kind of weird. And Blue goes back to like sitting in the pilot's chair.
Can we circle back to the problem with the power plant?
Oh, it leaks radiation every once in a while. Just like if you jump, occasionally it leaks.
Just a little.
Miles and I seem to have found, we think maybe what the problem was. We're really not sure. It's pretty difficult. I mean, Dr. Owens was a genius, but Miles is like really good too. So I'm pretty sure that we're gonna be, I mean, safe. I mean, you're gonna be safe. I think everybody's gonna be safe. I think it's gonna be really cool, right, Miles?
And I think that's where we're going to leave it.
Great.
As
Alex is
Alex,
like,
here's
Ursula?
yeah, right.
How many AI are in here?
Because it'd be great to get Miles back before we hit the spaceways. But
Yeah.
We have the ship as prepared as you're going to be to go on, and you still have 6 days that you can be in system before you need to make a jump to go meet Portia. From a timing perspective.
Cool.
So thank you, everyone. That's it for tonight's session. I hope that everybody watching enjoyed it, had a good time. I am gleefully laughing at all these things that are happening, not only on stream, but behind the scenes. As I will just put the behind the scenes moment where at some point, Blue messaged me and said, "I don't know what I'm going to do if Alex wants to come onto the bridge." And then at the very end, that's you wanted to. So that was a great for Clara payoff moment, which was brilliant. Please join us every other Monday right here at this Yuma Station channel. So our next game will be in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Which is the same amount of time to do a J2 jump. It's just amazing. It's so thematically appropriate. And if you want to catch up on past episodes, again, please go to happyjacks.org/Yuma Station. And you can find all the other APs at the Happy Jacks Network on happyjacks.org/shows. Is there anything anyone else would like to talk about that they're doing? I know, Jason, you're on streaming a ton.
Yeah.
So where can people find everybody? Jason, where can people find you if they want to find you?
Sorry.
Where
Yeah.
can they
Okay.
find you?
I didn't know if y'all had a set order.
I can't friggin' segue any harder, man. That's it.
My name's Jason. I have a Twitch channel. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. I stream Wednesdays and Friday, Saturday, Sunday when I'm not here. So you can check me out there.
Cool. Sam, if I want to buy some cool stuff, where would I find your cool stuff? Because I know you have
You
cool
can
stuff.
you can follow me on Twitter at RedPandroid. I just post about my stuff usually. You can check out my store, stiarnastore.com. It's STIARNA store, where I have like cool Viking and nerd inspired clothing and jewelry and weird stuff. So if you like weird stuff that I talk about, go buy weird stuff that I draw about.
And Clara, if I want to follow you on Twitter, which I do because I love all your mermaid stuff that happens and all your drawing, And personally, I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put you on the spot. I hope you get inspired about the crew that you draw the crew, because I love your art.
I have drawn I have been working on it, planning on it, but I make no promises because every time I do, things go wrong. But yes, I'm all over the internet as clearly _golden. And unless you're into mermaids, in which case it's mermaid_clarity. I have some projects coming up I can't talk about, and I have some stuff. I'm a member of a band called the Merry Wives of Windsor. You probably never heard of us. That's not true. But we have a Patreon where we do fun things there, and I appear a lot of places. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see where I end up next. It sounds like in a couple weeks I may be back on Life Action Roleplay doing Boardroom Armageddon Angels Edition. We have been trying to make the apocalypse happen and not make the apocalypse happen. It's complicated now, but it's just basically a Zoom LARP where we've been where the apocalypse was started by some angels, and we're figuring that out corporate style. But yeah, otherwise, if you follow me on Twitter, you should be able to figure out what's going on. But yeah,
sounds delicious. Dave, my California Sith Lord friend, anything you'd like to talk about?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at CA Sith Lord, where I occasionally post stuff and then I forget about it, and then suddenly it's 2 weeks later and my next post is about this game again. But the other game that I'm in that we're gonna hopefully get to play again this next weekend, I believe, is going to be our Murmurs at the Abyss Call of Cthulhu game that Stu's been running. So next Sunday, keep your eyes out for that. But I'll also show you guys the Happy Jacks calendar, because we've got the other Monday show, which has been fun to watch. For me, I've been enjoying the sort of small-scale fantasy, right? Like the homey fantasy RPG. Of Stone Top. That's been pretty fun. But outside of that, I have a Twitch channel, and occasionally I'll throw something on there and show somebody some weird game that I've decided to play. I had a fun time for a while doing Microsoft Flight Simulator, and people would come into chat and be like, "Fly over my house," and I would go hunt for their house, and it was fun. And then inevitably I would crash somewhere near their house because I'm not a pilot and I've received no training, nor did I do the tutorial before I started. So it was just a thing. I figured it out. We got in the air. It works, right? Anyone you can walk away
for
from.
wimps.
Yeah. But other than that,
I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, other than that, I was passing it back to you. So
sorry. And you can follow me on Twitter at Bill Roper. And I tweet about all kinds of stuff. But if you are really into video games and somewhat sea shanties and somewhat putting googly eyes on things, but if you're into video games and it's specifically Disney Infinity, you can follow me on TikTok at Bill Freakin' Roper, where I've got all kinds of fun stuff that I show off, including behind the scenes stuff from the game and figures that aren't in circulation and all kinds of good stuff. And I've had an awful lot of fun learning that platform because I have the attention span of a goldfish. So a minute is about as long as I can watch somebody's funny video. Either that or it's like Vine for like really intensely attentive people. We're on that. So thanks again, everybody, for watching, especially in the stream live with us. We appreciate you so much for being along for the super fun time. Thank you to all the players. You're all fantastic. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.